everyone for coming to be a part of county business. It shows us that our citizens are concerned about what we do and how we manage your funds. So thank you for coming. Supervisor Howard is not going to be with us today, so we'll keep him in mind. With that in mind, we'd like to open the meeting with prayer. Supervisor Carl, would you offer prayer, please? Yeah.
Father, thank you for this time, Lord, just together. Be with Supervisor Howard, and Lord, just be with each and every person here, and we gather to do the county business, Lord. Be with the families represented. Pray that we just treat each other with respect in this day and age, Lord. Just to see the worth in each other, as Jesus put it in us, Lord. Just be with each and every member here, and give us discernment and respect as we do county business here and everything. Amen.
Thank you very much, Supervisor. Moving forward, the approval of the July 2024 board minutes. Had an opportunity to review those minutes. Do we have any concern about the review of the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer. Second by Supervisor Lil. Any questions or additional questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved unanimously. Moving forward, citizen comment period. We have any citizens who are present with us today. Will you please come forward?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
To the president, to the supervisor. The citizens got some scary concerns. Pretty much for Al Sharpton and the rest of us, but the Dragon have already got a head start on it. The country have been deceived, and now the Dragon is after the church. That if we lose in November, we'll probably be on a dictatorship. And please put up Project 2025. It will tell you about dictatorship.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Mr. Turner. Motion.
Motion to acknowledge the presentation.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Carver. Acknowledgement. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Unanimous. Do we have any additional citizens who would like to come forward? Citizens, come in.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
My name is Annie Sherman, and I'm a member of New Perry Missionary Baptist Church in Bluefield. So I'm here this morning on behalf of the Safe Place. Okay, our church is having our pastor's 29th year anniversary. So a couple of years ago, we had to tear down our fellowship hall due to health hazard. So this year, on the 25th of this month, we need a place to feed our church family and other churches in the community. And we wanted to use the safe room. And it's only going to take probably about from 2 to 8. That includes setting up and cleaning up. So I'm here asking the board if you all will to waive our fee for us and let us use it just to feed the community, and our pastor and his family just for a few hours.
I'd like to make a motion that we honor the request for safe room usage and waiver the fee for New Prairie Grove Church.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little.
And I think we just need to make sure that no one else is using it, and they have to take a deposit. I think when they get it back, is that
we've already. She called me, so we talked about that. So just get up with me this afternoon.
So you all will get with me later.
But you work that out with county.
You're the one I spoke with on,
Yeah,
you have my
yeah,
number?
just follow, yes.
Just give me a call.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you all so very much.
Thank you very
I
much.
will second. I will.
Thank you, Ms. Wall. Working it out. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. That's the approval for New Prairie Road on the 25th for the safe road, use of safe road. Moving forward, we have another,
Good morning.
Good morning.
After about a year, on August the 1st, we finally got approval from MDEQ for the line extension from Victory Grove Road to almost Triangle Drywall and to upgrade the Habitat community. That is ready to be bid if we have funding for it.
I'd like to make a motion, we acknowledge this, letter from the East Occidental Wastewater District.
motion for acknowledgement by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. We have any questions?
Just keep you in the loop. You're talking about if funding's available, what does that mean?
You guys took all the funding away, and this is a $1.25 million piece of that project. And this is something that we've been working on probably a year, getting it done. And we've been 3 or 4, maybe 5 months getting approval through MDEQ, which is kind of a standard way they work. And, if there's ARPA money out there, we can get it matched. So it would take half of that if we can use the state ARPA money, but we're just about to run out of time to use the ARPA money, the state money.
Thank you.
I did want y'all to be aware that I spoke with the ARPA reps, and the time has not run out yet. However, to your point, it's gonna be probably into August. He said they may get extended before but he wouldn't guarantee that, so just want y'all to be aware of that.
Are there still matching dollars with that?
That's what he told me.
Still matching dollars, well, that's good.
What it would amount to is about $650,000 however y'all wanted to do it, if that's what y'all want to do, or wherever the money came from, period. But for it to have matching funds, it would have to be through that ARPA money that we have.
Well, I knew that the ARPA matching funds, has that already been applied for? Because that had been applied for last year, because our other money that we've given, the deadline was gone.
He told me if we would get everything in by the end of this month, he felt confident that it would not be a problem as far as doing that part of the process. So the short answer is we've got time if we get our ducks in a row. However, my suggestion would be is to go to if we did do something, GTPD would be your book to manage it. Now, keep in mind, I'm not an expert on this. This was merely a conversation I had with the ARPA people to make certain what options that would be on the table for you guys. I'm not telling you what to do or how to fund it. I'm telling you that if you're wanting to get that matching funding, we have time. We're more than likely need to do it by the end of August. One of the prereqs that they needed to have happen for us to get the ARPA funding request was DEQ had to sign off on it, and that took longer than apparently what was expected.
There's $3.5 million blocked for the district if we have matching funds.
50%.
But we don't have a project to do more than the 1.25 total.
1.25 Hickory Grove to Golden Triangle.
To Triangle Drywall, but basically the county line and the Habitat extension and upgrade to that pump station.
And that includes the Forest Street development or whatever. I'm probably saying the name wrong, but that's in that line.
It's not their stuff on the property, but it's the line paralleling 182 they would connect to.
And So you're talking first meeting in August to get all the ducks in a row, that's pretty quick. And you're saying GTPDD takes the lead, is that something that the
They would have to
applicant?
manage it. I don't think we could even,
No.
to be real honest with you, I wouldn't be comfortable with anything other than them managing it so that it would flow right. And I don't know that legally we can do anything other than that anyway.
Is that something that the applicant leads or the county leads that process of tasking the?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Does the applicant or the county task
The
the
county
PDD?
would be, for the ARPA funding, to be very clear, I'm not trying to lead us down a primrose path here. For us to be able to get the matching funding for that particular project, we would have to use GTPDD or another management company. They're not the only ones out there, but GTPDD for us is who we typically use. They would have to be the lead person to manage the money. We would have to, in this situation, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll round up so that I'm hitting this, but you're looking at about $700,000 of ARPA money that we would have to put into that so that we would have the matching funds for this project. Is that a fair assessment from what you've been told as well?
That's correct. The Golden Triangle has been involved. Phyllis helped us do the engineering thing, so we've got it documented for the county side of the ARPA money and the state side of the ARPA money, which is a big deal.
This is not an uncommon way of doing this. Now, there have been some hiccups, rightfully so, I was not gonna say it, but making certain that GPDD is the lead on this would make sure that the money is being managed, which is my main concern with, if we're doing this, it needs to be a group out there that handles this for us or helps us with this and watches what we're doing. But that's kind of where you're at in terms of options. Now, the other option would be to you can go directly and let the project manage this, and we may try to keep up managing it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's a great idea. We don't have the time or resources to be able to do it correctly.
Is there any pending litigation associated with this at all?
Not with this.
Okay.
Not with this.
I think we have asked Golden Triangle Planning and Development anyway to manage those funds.
That is correct.
Previously, they've been asked to manage.
That's my understanding. That's where we've been working with Phyllis.
Right, that's right. Do you have any additional area that you're looking at as a possibility also?
Not for this money, because all the engineering work was stopped a few months back for the south side of town. So you gotta have the engineering done before you can move forward. They tell me it's the end of August is the cutoff, and they're gonna pull all the money back that's not allocated. So I don't know. And I think that's similar to what they told them.
Is the people with the project, he had said that he was gonna come, and I'm not sure okay, I'm sorry, I'm making sure it was you, I wasn't sure. Did you wanna say anything?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask some, new questions for the 182 project, so,
Would it be okay with the board for him to tell what this project is, or if y'all want it? I'm not trying to but he and I had a conversation Friday, and he felt like it would be a good thing for y'all to be able to talk to him, and I said, no.
Mr. Prosser, do you have any additional comments that you'd like to make?
Not unless you have additional questions.
Any additional questions?
Well,
Did you have anything that you want to say?
yeah, I just wanted to kind of tell everyone kind of what we're working on. I know there's been some misconceptions, and so 2 years ago we purchased the land, or just about a year and a half ago, but we started putting it under contract about 2 years ago. Part of that was we weren't really 100% sure. We knew that part of the county is, especially with the aluminum mill, we've met with and had some indirect communication with the leadership of ADI, also with the Air Force Base, which I was a part of, taught there for a long time. The members there that were wanting to move into Oktibbeha County, but just due to where most of the housing is, just made the commute too long. So originally we had discussed putting an RV park, especially with the sports complex, but Jonathan Byram put one down that we were unaware of. We met with Joe Max Higgins and everyone else, and I met with the mayor, I met with the Chamber of Commerce, and all the team did. And pretty much we came down to the best use of that piece of property would be building a very high-end neighborhood. I know a lot of, we were told that right around 200 people from ADI will be coming in with over $175,000 jobs, and those are already slated to come from out of state and they're looking for housing. Bringing in from other plants from Texas to Louisiana to help run it. So one of their concerns was not having a gated community that people from not living here wanted, and a kind of swim and tennis type community, sidewalks, curbs, kind of, we are all from North Atlanta, very similar to that type of project. So part of it when we were looking at the pro forma is just that the way the state makes you do wastewater would make it feasibly not possible to be able to do it at that point. So prior to purchasing the land, we reached out to Dwight and said, what are the options that we have for this? So we were the first people to put our name on the list to get wastewater run out there. He had spec with who's the head of the wastewater district board? Cosby, the head of on the board that signed it. Anyway, the wastewater district board signed a letter, a will serve letter for us, and then he had already had the funds at the time. We got a letter from DEQ, so DEQ, on him representing it, signed the funds over that the funds were in the account, ready to go for it, along with the district would install it if we purchased the land. So we moved forward with the purchase based on that notion, and we're moving full steam ahead on it. And we had started engineering with Pritchard Engineering, but then we kind of hit this unexpected roadblock that came up, and so we've kind of halted all things at that point, waiting for this to get funded and move forward. We know that, that area is at least in our opinion and our assessment and all the work that they've done, one of the most valuable areas to the county. When they built the airport, they agreed that all the counties would grow closer to the airport, and yet that really hasn't happened. And I know that Lowndes County got ADI and STI, but everyone wants to live in Oktibbeha County. It has the better schools. I've heard there's a potential for a new high school. Everyone has got more stores. It's just where everyone wants to go. The city's made it extremely difficult to be a developer and build in the city, and it's become costly where it's almost not worth it at this point. So the county is where everyone wants to go and live. So I think by putting this pipeline in, it's going to have, for every dollar spent, you're going to have 5 to 10x in the future from that, because people are going to want to develop, people are going to want to build. You're going to have higher, more property taxes coming in, and it's not something that's going to be spent and just kind of finished with. So.
And on those connections, is the city,
Yeah,
does it go to the wastewater and the city?
Yeah, I spoke with the mayor. She was 100% before this. She said she would not block it. The thing that right now everyone knows with all the stuff going on with it. So, on any development project, it's not going to be like 0 homes, 200 homes, right? It's going to be a slow build up. It takes engineering. That's got to go through DEQ as well. So, you're still looking 12, 24 months down the road. And from what they came in here and presented, I think back in May, within 12 to 18 months, they would have additional capacity at that point. And she said she would not hold it up if there was additional capacity for being able to build out the county for that.
So we all would know. Would you introduce yourself again and
I'm
the
sorry.
project that you're working on?
Yeah, Pace-Ed. I represent Forest Street Partners. They're a development group out of Atlanta, Georgia. Pace, P-A-C-E. Last name is Stead, S-T-E-A-D.
Pace and I have talked a lot over the phone. I didn't recognize it when you walked in, but we've talked over the phone. So that y'all are aware, the connectors, this is not, this project we're talking about is not specifically for them. I'm trying to phrase this the best way I know how. Now, they will be able to use it, but anybody on that line will be able to use it. So I don't want this to sound like what we're bringing to, or let me say what they're bringing to you is a project-specific plan. Is that a fair way of saying that? That's
correct.
This is
Jonathan Byram's RV park will also be connected to it somewhere down the road.
Well, what does that mean where it says no new connections?
The no new connections are what the mayor basically had said in the past. She has told me when I've talked to her that, and here's the truth, y'all, regardless of whether or not we connect to the city or we do something different. So let me phrase this the best way I know. I want to be careful what I say because there's been no decision made by this board. The lines that you're talking about doing are usable whether we had our own sewer system or we use the city of Starkville. Now, my knee jerk is more than likely we're going to end up using the city of Starkville just because that's probably where this is going. But
The way this thing works, they will have to come up with a set of engineering drawings that probably Clyde's gonna do. And that has to be submitted to MDEQ with X number of connections. And that's when the connections get approved. And then the same thing with Byram's RV Park, and the same thing with the new Westlake subdivision, it'll be 102 houses. All of that has to be approved to connect back to the system by MDEQ, and that's where the connections. The habitat connections were approved 2 or 3 years ago, so there's no additional connections there.
And just to kind of show you what the value, so there was an auction for part of that, not the Westlake piece, but the other part that they've clear cutted. And it's right around somewhere, don't exactly quote me, but it was right around $16,000 an acre that it auctioned off for, and they turned it down. So that entire strip of land all the way down to the end of the county is one of the most sought after areas. And when you put wastewater now down there, it's going to open up opportunities for everybody, both down Hickory Grove Road and all the way down that area. So I think it's something that's going to pay dividends for many years to come, maybe not necessarily in 30 days or 45 days, but it's something that's really going to help the county grow and relieve a lot of pressure. I mean, everyone knows the housing pressure. I mean, I live in Starkville, and luckily I'm here in the middle of COVID, but since then it's kind of almost become unaffordable. There's no rental properties for, single family homes. I mean, I was going to plan on renting when I first got here, which my wife had us move down here from Montana, and it was unaffordable for us. And so that's kind of been our biggest thing that we've seen, is that when you start building housing in the city, it just becomes so costly that no one can actually afford it unless you're the president of Mississippi State.
I'm trying to understand the relationship of your project to the RV park. Is it close?
No, there is no relationship to it.
But it is close by each other.
They're a mile down the road from each
Mile
other.
down the
Yeah,
road.
so, but I mean, to the point he was making is that line, when it's run, everyone on both sides of the road forever can be able to connect to it and go from there. So.
That's right. Yeah.
Any questions?
Are you dealing with portable drinking water too in that area?
Yeah, everything else is good to go. I mean, everything from fiber internet to, water, electricity, we've already gone through all that process. It's only the wastewater that was holding it up.
Now, any additional questions, any additional comments?
Yes, I'd like for the board to charge Mr. Robertson here with getting all these pieces to the post, doing his due diligence, and making a report back to the board by next meeting. If we need to set a meeting or a public hearing to get all these moving parts on the table, we need to stop playing around and just deal with this thing. This is vital to the growth and future of our entire county. And we know we got some issues, but we need to bring all the parties that be together. We need to make an executive decision that's going to be best for the long-term future of this county.
Would it be okay if I get with our GDP partners in this, and if there is a timeline, I may have to call a special meeting to get us rolling?
I'm looking at all involved.
All
I mean,
involved.
from the engineers to the city to the Mississippi State University, everybody that has influence in this project.
Especially
Well, let's keep in mind that we're not only talking about it, we're talking about the future of Occidental County. We're not only talking about this particular area.
No,
But
the
we're
whole
talking
county.
about Occidental County as a whole,
Canada.
especially when it comes to portable drinking water and when it comes to public wastewater.
There's not
We
a bigger
need
issue
to
that y'all are
address
dealing with
I
than
know,
this.
that's right.
And this all over the county now, not
Yes,
just,
sir.
not just this project.
Can I we've been waiting for 18 months on this, and DEQ's actually reached out to us. We spoken with our attorneys multiple times and stuff. So they did say, you know, that that by the end of the month, if we made a commitment, then they'll work. They understand that there's delays that come in from other agencies that get held up. But can we set a date to vote on whether or not it moves forward? I mean, we've just been held up for almost 9 months now and been paying on it. So can we set a kind of a hard date? It's either going to be, you know, by next meeting a go, no go, of whether or not this moves forward, so it doesn't get drug on, or.
I think that'll be premature at this point, because see, there's so many moving parts in this process. And we didn't just get here overnight. You know, we didn't just get here overnight. I know you all are worried about a new connection, but we're worried about the primary connection, where it's gonna terminate. And then how it's gonna get there, but we got issues there too. So I understand what you're saying, but there's no way we can stand here and say we're gonna have a decision by the end of the month. But this is a top priority for this county. And I think this board is willing to make that commitment and let the county and citizens know this is a top priority, and put all the chips on the table to let people see why it's such an important
Well, I
project.
would just see with matching ARPA funds by the end of the month, it's kind of already late at that point, and so you don't really have that time date. I mean, you might as well just knock it dead right now then.
Well, I mean, you know, that's why I know you're in private business. You know, private business operates a different public business, and that's the downside of it. You know, because there's certain things you got to do, moving parts, and people you got to have in place. But we're gonna work to try to get it done, because that project has a lot of potential.
We have a motion.
There's a need for it, and I think we're gonna try to get it done.
We do have a motion on the
Yes, sir.
table from, Orlando, Supervisor Trainer, that we allow, our board attorney to put together the missing parts and come back and, discuss that with us. Second by Supervisor Little. Do we have any additional comments?
I think that's the correct motion. Attorney Robinson knows all the moving parts and stuff for the legal side of it. I mean, that shooting for the August, 1st September is probably gonna require some kind of special meeting, so I know everybody here meets, we've got to do something. So keep us updated.
Hopefully this week I'll be able to get something written down. I need to have, not that y'all need to hear this, you know, my surgery's the 19th. I need to get this done before the 19th, I guess is the best way to say it, just because I'll be out with the phone.
Okay, got a motion and second on the table. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Do we have any additional citizens that would like to come forward
Yes, sir.
with comments?
Good morning. I'm Molly Jackson here on behalf of the Youth Court and Judge Leanne Turner. She apologizes for not being able to be here today. She is at a digital evidence for judges course being presented by the Secret Service right now. The purpose of me coming this morning, earlier this summer, you guys authorized us to apply for a new grant, and I'm pleased to announce this morning that we were awarded that grant in the amount of $29,918 that will allow us to continue our work in the youth court with our alternatives to detention program. And so I'm here just to ask for your approval and authorization for us to accept the grant.
That's no matching dollars, that's.
It is a reimbursement grant. It's 100% reimbursement.
100% reimbursement.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
Yes,
That's
sir.
wonderful. Well.
Move approval.
Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little. Any additional questions? Just congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're very excited about it. We've had great success over the last year with the program so far, and we look forward to expanding it and continuing it forward with this next year.
All in favor? Motion carries. Unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. In addition, we still on citizen comment period.
Yes.
Moving forward, is there any additional citizens that would like to come forward? Additional citizens? There being none, we'll move forward with our agenda. Assessment changes and homestead deletion.
Good morning. Make a motion, we approve the assessment changes and homestead deletion.
We need that separate or go together?
I guess separate. Just two different stuff.
Let's do it separate.
Make a motion, we approve the assessment changes.
Motion for approval on assessment changes by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Carver. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Unanimous, and I need a motion now for homestead, deletions.
Make a motion to acknowledge the homestead deletion.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Trainer, motion by Supervisor Trainer, sorry, second by Supervisor Carver. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda. Forward. Glad to have you.
Good morning, good morning.
Yeah.
I am here to present contracts with West Pipe and Associates. I've entered into a 4-year agreement with them.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
Give me a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
Have you been expecting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Neighbor candidate, won't be saying. This is the current person here.
Yes, I was, we're looking because we've already, the new plots, whenever we have, we don't have to get somebody here, you know, for, we just go out there and revisit.
This is a 4-year contract.
Yes, sir, it is.
Without had a chance to read over it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's not pretty much the same as it's been all the time.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is, okay.
One question I have is,
Yes,
new
sir.
to this is $672,000, $14,000 a month. Is this a new business, or is this something that the county always had a contract in place for this? Or is this something that used to be done in-house by the staff of the tax assessor?
To my knowledge, yeah. Oh, no, excuse me, no.
Yes,
We do, it's always been this way. When I took office, he was already there. And, the way he explained it to me is when we do, like, if they have new plots, he can already go ahead and record it instead of having to go back and revisit, or someone else learning all of, the plots and everything that's in October County.
So this was already done by is this the same agency that the consultant West Coast did it before? This is just a rehash of the same, I just didn't know. Is this a good price, and this $14,000 a month, or is that?
I've contacted,
Market value?
8 other counties, and, he is basically the same, and the way October County is growing, this is a very good price compared to, research that I've done.
The money's in place for this and everything? You good on your office?
Yes, sir. Or than that.
Do you see any way this could be improved, or is this, if you were to draft it yourself, I'm just saying?
If I was drafting myself, I wouldn't know what I was doing. But, the way he explained it to me is, if the way October County is growing, if someone is building a house, he can already have it down on the plot, instead of having it someone else to go out and research the whole new county. He's there, he already knows what it is, and he can just go ahead and have it recorded.
Okay.
Or assessed. And, I'm sorry.
No, I said move approval. You got anything else to say?
Also,
Sir.
I still wanna hear what you say.
Got a motion for, still have some questions on the table.
I just wanted one question, I just wanna make sure that, like, this will end, does this contract end during our term?
It does, and it's actually back.
It's back at
It's
this
a
firm?
4-year contract.
It was a 4-year contract.
Okay.
I did the same thing, I had to go, oh, wait a minute. I agree,
We
I
approved
understand.
that, okay, let's back up.
The reason we say that is because we can't go over this
term.
Well, it's $168,000, I believe, a year. So we won't be, couldn't do it funding back. We're funding yearly. So we do have a motion on the table to accept the appraisal update, maintenance, contractual agreement, real property. Do we have a motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Carver. Do we have any additional questions?
I'd cut Ms. Walker off.
Tax assessor.
Oh, no, sir, I was about to, bring something else up before he had.
We have a motion for approval, for the appraisal contract. Since there are no additional questions, all in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Also on, July 9th, I entered my assessors recapitalization report, and on July 24th it was approved. I have my certificate saying that my assessment rolls were approved and to be axed into the minutes.
We acknowledge the action. Make a motion, we acknowledge.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much.
Do we need to have an acknowledgement of that form?
Yep. We did it.
That's the last one we did.
So we're moving forward. Next step. Thank you for coming.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Well, we are a year old as of July in Tillahaw County. We just want to come in this morning briefly and just say, hey, how y'all doing? And if you need anything from us, we're still here. We're here. If you need us, call us anytime, day or night. If you got a problem, call me day or night.
Ain't heard anything, Nate?
That's needed. But, if, like I said, if y'all need anything, Brandon Homser, is taking Josh Bennett's place, that's running things over here for a little bit. Brandon came from, he's from Illinois, or was from Illinois. He's not there no more. But anyway, Brandon's a paramedic RN, and, been doing some critical care stuff. We're moving some of that toward critical care transport at the hospital as well. And so we're, like I said, Josh moved over in my office with me, and Brandon's going to take over. He worked all of Mississippi State last year except for the football games, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got coming there. But he's been working with me for 16 years. He's been on and off, working out of Monroe County, living up there. He runs that up there, and he's going to be over this too, with the guys here, my number 2 guy, and me. So, but we're looking forward to the future and what it will hold, and we're looking every day to make things better. That's my number 1 motto is we're going to do it better today than we did yesterday.
It seems like a good team relationship with Octorock County Hospital. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Mr. Jackson and the staff at the hospital are amazing to work with. The nurses, at first everything was kind of real questionable, but it took maybe 2 or 3 weeks or a month about, and everything's really smooth sailing now. The nurses, the doctors, we work hand in hand. Whatever they need, we're there, and like I said, we're there to help in any way we can. And, but yeah, we do very well with the hospital.
Most of us know how to contact you, but would you please leave your name, phone number, and we
You got the call.
you have your phone number, you have the card.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. All right, we're not gonna keep y'all. I know y'all on a tight budget, tight line here, but
We appreciate you all.
yes, we
Yes,
thank
sir.
y'all.
Motion for acknowledgement. Thank y'all for coming.
So moved.
Thank you. I don't give y'all nothing anymore.
I'm good. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.
Have a motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. No additional questions, all in favor? Acknowledgement, motion carries, unanimous. Next on the agenda is for county.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
I'm Brian Clark with Fort County Electric. I'm the CEO.
And I have with me today John Turner. He's our manager of marketing and public relations. You may also know him by, he overmarried like I did to Judge Turner here in Oklahoma County. So John, jump in at any point you want to. On a personal level, I want to say thank you for the work that you do. I don't think the average person knows the stresses and the burden we all carry doing the job that you do. I served as an elected school board member in Lowndes County for 12 years, so my condolences for you for the work that you do, but thank you for serving the citizens of Oktibbeha County. I want to talk to you about 3 things that 4 counties doing, and really I don't have an ask for you today. It's just thank you for everything you've done and our continued partnership. 4 County has been a good partner of Oktibbeha County for years, and I want to position it to say that the growth in the county, we're here to make sure that happens for you both electrically and with fiber that we put in. I want to thank you for helping keep my linemen safe during storms and storm restoration, from your first responders and your sheriff deputies. When a storm hits, we have rubberneckers, and y'all have done a great job of protecting my staff when that happens. That's the main thing I want to thank you for. The big thing we're looking at too is economic development in all of our counties. We're a big player in that. Aside from the investment that you take, I would say y'all make the biggest risk in terms of investment for economic development. We're probably number 2 after that. Because when a substation is built, it costs around $6 million to do that. And so we put a lot out there on the front end for a return later down the road. From a fiber standpoint, we hit 18,000 customers this morning. We're growing. In 4 years, we've been very successful. We're making a profit. Our plan long term is to pay off debt early and keep rates low on broadband and the electric. If you keep up with us, we also have the charitable arm, the 4 County Foundation. We have raised $2.2 million in 10 years, and of that fund, over $400,000 has gone directly to Oktibbeha County. So all that to say, a lot of organizations have a mission statement, and I think most employees of those organizations don't know what their mission statement is. Well, we eat, sleep, and breathe ours. Ours is to improve the quality of life of all those that we touch. And I think you see it in the actions that we do, whether it's 4 County Electric, 4 County Fastnet, or 4 County Foundation, or the economic development work that we do. And I hope that when you see our staff out in your community, that they're doing a good job. And I just want to open it up to you and just say thank you for being a good partner with us. Is there anything that we can do different or better to serve you? I would love to know.
Appreciate you all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. And thank you for your time and letting me come.
I'm glad to see you take the lead with broadband.
Yes, sir.
That seems to be working out really well.
Well, we're very proud of it. I'll say on the front end, we did multiple feasibility studies to make sure it would work. And look, I'm an accountant by trade, so I'm risk adverse, but ultimately it relied on this. We prayed that God would open and shut doors, and He did that, and it's been the right decision. People are happy.
You was kind of reluctant at first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's everything. I was reluctant to get married at first.
You finally got on board, and we're just happy that you got on board.
Yes, sir. We are too. I'll say I just recently moved from the city to the county, so I transitioned as a constituent. You know, so from the hookup process to the ladies in the office to the Fastnet technicians that have had to come out twice. But you can tell the quality of the work they do, pride in where they work, and that shows. I mean, I've probably interacted with about 10 people so far in 4 County and know a lot of the linemen personally. So yeah, just definitely a high morale, and I think that comes from your mission statement down and the family care attitude and that roommate with Jared Andrews and college. Yes, sir. Bless your heart. All those guys. We
graduated.
Pastor Andrews. No, but it really, you can tell from the morale of the employees that y'all got a good thing going, so appreciate you. Yes, sir. Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
The reality of broadband is underground.
We mirror the electric line. If the electric line's overhead, the broadband goes overhead, and if it's underground, we go underground. Yes, sir.
While we're here, this may not be a popular subject, but I just thought maybe you might want to talk to us just for a second, not long, but because I know that solar farm people are in and around our area and in the state and stuff. What are y'all's thoughts? What are y'all thinking? What do people need to be aware of?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad you asked that, and I'll try to make it brief because I can talk about this for a while on a lot of subjects. One, let's start off at the residential level of solar. I can't make an economic case for someone to put solar on their house. Now, people do it, and look, we want to be agnostic to it. We want to educate people that want to do it healthy. That's fine. But I look at that kind of like, I like working old cars. It doesn't make a lot of economic sense for me to do that. I just like doing it. That's what I think the residential solar piece comes into play. My concern with the residential solar piece is there are predatory solar companies that will take advantage of people. We have had a single-wide mobile home in our footprint where someone sold them a very expensive loan to put in solar, and it will never pay back. That's not the case with all of them, and there are some very reputable solar companies in our footprint, so I don't want to throw dirt on them. At a commercial level, it can make sense to put in commercial solar. It can offset some of your usage and lower your bill. You will not get away from having a power bill. On a commercial level and residential level, solar works about 25% of the time. Where we live, we are a winter peaking system, right? You might think it's summer as hot as it's been. We have broken records this summer, but we typically peak around the first week in February. Solar's not going to help you at 4 a.m. in February when it's 8 degrees outside. All right, so there's that. The other piece is the large commercial installations of solar that we've seen that TVA's acquired. There's several reasons that that's happening. One, TVA's getting pressure from solar developers to invest in more solar. Two, TVA in their TVA Act at the federal level has a loan cap. They can't borrow more money than the cap is. They're bumping that cap. So they're going out to the open market looking for people to make the investment that they can't make. That's another reason. The last one I would say is from a diversification standpoint on their portfolio. They want to say they're doing coal, hydro, nuclear, solar. My heartburn with all that is the federal government, in my opinion, is killing what works too early. Now look, coal plants aren't as clean as other things, but they're still functional. Let's get the useful life out of them before we kill them and go all the way into solar. If we do solar too quick, we're going to see rolling blackouts. That's what we don't want to have. So we're advocating at the federal level to rely on what works. My personal standpoint, there's nothing greener than nuclear. We've got it figured out. It's safe. It's reliable. I'd like to see more than that. But to answer your question, I can make a case for or against it. Just be careful if you get into it.
What about, and I'm asking these questions for my constituents and for people, other people out there that, some of these companies are coming and visiting and talking to. It is my understanding that when you put in the big solar farms, that once the solar farms have been up and going, they generate a lot of heat, a lot of stuff there, so that the ground becomes unusable over time.
Yes, ma'am.
To where that there is no nutrients left in the ground. So when they're clear cutting these large farms, timber places, things like that, what is that doing to our ecosystem, to our environment? And I will just put it on the table, a green person.
I'm not either.
Okay, but I want to know because, we are a farming, state. We're in the South, and if thousands of acres are being taken up for that will become unusable. What does that look for our future?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know the scientific piece about it burning up the land and making it long-term not viable. I don't know much about that. I grew up on a farm, and I'm passionate about the land where we live. My concern would be for the benefit of the landowner and the county at a tax standpoint. Do you have better uses of the land? Is something I would look at. And if your citizens in the county are looking, there's a lot of solar companies come around like gas did 20, 30 years ago, buying up options on land for future solar projects. I'd be very careful, make sure they talk to their attorney. There's some things I think they need to put in an agreement that they do. I'm not a lawyer, I'm just spitballing here. But something like a favored nations clause, if your next door neighbor gets a better deal than you, they're gonna make you whole. But more important than that is I'd look long term, if you're gonna lease the land, that on the back end, that the money is set up, bonded somehow, to where the land can be returned back to its state before the solar panels are there. In my opinion, if you don't have that there, and again, I'm not a lawyer, the company can go bankrupt and not fulfill that obligation in the lease. I'm hearing more and more interest in our counties of people from out of state wanting to come buy options on solar. It's a big push right now. I think it's because our land's flat and it's cheaper than it is in Tennessee. I would just encourage anybody looking into it to reach out to us. We'll educate you on what we know and let you make the decision. Again, we want to be agnostic, even though I have personal views on it. That we want to help our members make the right decision for them. I would like to see TVA invest in more dispatchable power that works. Again, solar, you can't call on it when you need it. It's just there. I don't know if I helped you or not.
You did, for sure.
I think our reason for having you here, however, is to approve the payment of the spending of some funds for the relocation of some lines.
We probably have answered that, but that's not why I came today. I came for you.
That's different.
That's on the clock.
That's all I have.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for the partnership, and we're here if you need us.
Again, you might want to leave your phone number so we can get in touch with you.
Yes, sir. I'll get it to
If
you.
you have a card, be glad to have it.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
Motion for acknowledgement, Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Got no additional questions, all in favor? Motion carries.
One last thing, if I might interject, it's in the handout that we gave y'all. We just did a partnership with the North Mississippi Storm Chasers, so we've got live cameras through them up on two of Maven and Adeton substations. So there's a feed, there's a live feed that anybody can look at. They use that to track storms and whatnot. So just out of interest, that's something that we've done for them pro bono, put those cameras up for them and provide them the internet connection. So everybody can benefit from those that weather feed. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you
you.
very much.
Great.
Moving forward, state aid update. Mr. Clyde.
good morning.
Good morning. Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
Rather than y'all trying to take a bunch of notes, I typed up my notes.
That sounds good.
I thought that might help you follow along as we go through them. I think I've got 9 or 10 copies. Rob, have you got one?
I need one more if you can spare one.
We're gonna cover a little ground this morning. I may have to share with you then, is there a fast one? All right. First item I have for you this morning is to approve the program for the Morgantown Bridge. This is the big bridge that we've been talking about. So item 1 on the list. The program shows a project cost of $4,239,744.75. I fussed at my boys. I thought that 75 cents was picking it pretty close for our estimate. Thanks to Senator Robertson and some help from the legislature and board, etc., we've got $1,500,000 obligated in the legislature. So this program will show that we got project costs at 4.2, legislative funds 1.5, type country with county funds of $2.7 million to go to that bridge. Now don't panic. What we're trying to do here is get this into state aid, get these legislative funds recognized so that they will assign it a project number, and we can go ahead and acquire right away, get our environmental work done, etc. Nothing will be lit, nothing will go to bid until the funds are reconciled. We have an ERBR application out there now for $4,264,293 and change, which if awarded, and we're optimistic this time, would cover these costs. So I'm asking for approval of this program, showing that big balance in county funds, but that will let us get this assigned, get it in the system, get the legislative funds recognized, and get moving forward on environmental.
With that, 2.3 million, that is county, those are county funds.
2,739,744 will be shown as county funds.
We show this county funds.
But prior to this going to bid, there'll be another source of money. There could be a piece of that, it could be none of this, it could be all ERBR, we don't know. What we're trying to do too is be able to go back to ERBR and say, the legislature's put $1.5 million in this, we've got skin in the game, we need to move forward.
And the ERBR committee should be meeting sometime in the this week, sometime next, week
I
to
talked to Harry Lee Friday. He said, if any way possible, pass this order today so that he can go in and make the order.
That's a good project, and we've been trying to get this bridge funded there, so I'd like to see us move forward. A motion from the chair. Motion for approval. Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little.
All right, I'm gonna pass this around if that's
Any
good,
additional
then.
questions? Have any additional questions? No additional questions, all in favor?
Excellent. I got fussed at on the Moore High Bridge program that y'all did a while back, so somebody wrote the names in. I have to have original signatures, please, and the blue stamp, as you always do, but I gotta have your signatures on that form. All right, while y'all are signing, I'll give you an update on some of the rest. And I guess Mr. Clark is left for Sturgis West Point Bridge. That's a state aid project 5383. Ford County has requested payment in the amount of $2,890.61 to relocate a line. This is a little bit of a unique situation in that their stuff is not located on the right of way, but the line crosses. It's going to interfere with the construction and the cranes and everything we need. So I'm recommending approval in this case for that relocation.
Make a motion, we accept your recommendation.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer. Second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion carried.
Mr. Lawrence, I think you have that in email. I need to get that confirmed. And then on that order, that's the last piece of this puzzle. I'd like an order to advertise SAP 5383 Sturgis West Point pending state aid approval. Those plans are ready and approved.
Make a motion, we accept that recommendation also.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer. Second by Supervisor Little. All in favor of the recommendation? Motion carries. 5-4 unanimous.
Crawford Road Bridge, which we ultimately acquired a right of way on. I like one environmental permit coming in. The plans are approved by state aid. I'd like an order to advertise pending state aid approval.
Make a motion, we accept the recommendation.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion carries.
On the Morgantown Bailey Bridge, originally, similar to what I just talked about on the big bridge in Morgantown, we programmed $606,577 of state aid money in there to get that job started. I'm gonna come back to you next time with a revised program to pull that back out. Okay? That's the money we need. You'll see in one of my other notes, that's the money we need to proceed with Moore High. Right now, we're technically in the hole because that money is obligated to the wrong project. Okay? Sherman Bridge, is that state aid being reviewed? I expect it to come out pretty quick.
They need a motion on that, revise that.
I'll bring it back to you next time. I don't know that we need a motion this time. The Sherman Bridge is at state aid, the Dry Creek Bridge is at state aid. Osborne has had field work done, with and design on that. The County Lake Road slurry seal, SAP 5320S. I'd like an order to advertise pending state aid approval. I know that's Supervisor Howard's area, but that's state aid project, plans are ready. We expect literally any day to say y'all are good to go.
Motion for advertise on County Lake Road.
So move.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries forward.
The Moore High program is what I just mentioned. I will bring that back to you, showing the 600 or so in there, and it's gonna require those original signatures in lieu of just written in.
What is the Moore High program? Remind me on that one.
That starts at Octok, goes to Crawford, and turns south on a little piece across the road to the county line. It's a repair, reseal, restripe, basically from end to end.
That's our total project that we agreed on.
That's right.
How many miles? Up to 7?
Oh,
Up to 6.9 miles.
I think it's around 6.9 miles.
Where's that funding coming from?
That's all state aid.
That's all state.
You don't need a order on that, y'all already.
No, I'm gonna bring a revised program back, and it'll de-obligate funds and re-obligate funds. It's just gonna be a money shuffle on that one. Williams Road, which is a county funded project. I've got plans ready, specs ready, I'm ready to advertise. That's what you'd like to do, Supervisor Williams.
Motion we advertise William Road.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on motion then. Motion by Supervisor Williams.
You want me to do what you do?
Don't make no difference to me. I just saying I got them ready.
Second by Supervisor Trainer.
That's family.
All in favor? Motion carries.
Yeah. I was gonna ask the Williams Road deal, that was part of what we'd already talked about and done allocated.
Right, we have a county fund to be able to pay for it.
It's a county funded project. It's being bid and advertised and designed identical to a state aid project. It just has not had to go through state aid review and approval and all that kind of stuff.
How much is that?
Williams Road, I'll have to go back and look.
Right at 800 maybe?
800 to $900,000, somewhere around there.
That is a state aid road.
How soon you plan on advertising that?
Well, they just told me, so we'll advertise first time this week.
Well, the reason I say that is because we got some work that's got to be done that's real important.
You need to hurry.
I got to get approval today to get some cover. We got some serious cross drain issues.
I know that you do, and what, if we advertise this week, next week, they're gonna want 30 days or so to bid, and then I'll come in here with, hopefully with a recommendation for award, and we gotta get contracts. So truthfully, I think you got 2 months.
Okay.
Alright?
2 months.
Before we would actually be working.
We should be able to get, cross drains done in 2 months.
All right,
Well,
last,
it's bigger than what you think, Mr. Williams. We did some, we was out, you got, 2 big cross drains that's gonna require concrete cover because they got sour water running through them. And they, one of them is a concrete cover, we got to pull up, put that down. We need to make a decision on that, whether it's gonna be a box covered or whether it's gonna be 2 runs of covers. So it's pretty, when I bring the figures to you, you're gonna see.
is David helping you size those?
Yeah, and we gonna need to make a decision on one and make some calls. I got the calls for them here, so.
And when you say sour water, you're talking about stagnant water?
No sour water.
What is that?
Water that's got acid in it, flowing through it like sewer.
Like,
Sewer water and stuff like that.
where's that coming from?
Private property.
Yes.
We need to talk about that.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that.
No, we need public, we keep working toward public sewage, you know.
And wait a minute, there's nothing we
We
do
just trying
about,
to fix the water, fix the road.
there's nothing we do about.
It's not,
sewer water
it's
coming
not,
onto county
and
property.
when I say sewer, it's not coming directly into it. It's, when you got 5 or 6 houses and the ditch come together, you gonna have water that's gonna come from every which direction. And some of that water is gonna be a little bit, and it causes metal covers to rust, so you can't put metal covers back in there.
What does the health department say about that?
We have to get in touch with them.
They're not aware.
We have to get in touch with them, that's really not.
That's-
They got a toll-free number for you to call.
I'm just saying, to me, that's a health issue.
Oh, it is.
This is not a road, this is not a immediate road concern right now. We need to move forward with what we're doing in terms of repairing the road right now, okay?
I'm
And then
fine
we-
with the road.
And that's something, any citizen who have a concern like that, there's a toll-free number for you to call State Health Department and express your concern, and they'll get the work on it. That's the way we do it. Yeah. Okay.
One other comment on William.
Yeah.
And in light of what Collins has said too, by the time that we take bids, we're gonna be getting close on weather limitations. I would set the job up as whatever price you give us now will be the price that we'll have in, say, March, when you come back to do the work. Now, that can go either one of two ways. I've seen contractors that like to have work on the books for spring, and they'll give us a really good price to have that on the books and ready to go. I've seen contractors say, I don't know what my fuel, my petroleum, and my asphalt is gonna be in the spring, and jack the number up a little bit. But there's always opportunity to go ahead and bid it, see what we got, and you don't have to accept the bids. It can be rebid in the spring if we don't like the number. Okay?
That's right. Let's get the bid out there and see what we're looking at.
All right.
Move forward if we can.
We will advertise this week, and Mr. Lewis, I'll be getting with you about bid dates and dates that we can take to county lake slurry, you know, what's available to take bids. Last item I had on the books, I had a conversation with Supervisor Little, Supervisor Carver, a lot of conversation about Sturgis Maven Road, Sturgis, about what we could do now, the piece that was omitted before that still needs work, the piece south of there that goes on to Sturgis. I worked up some estimates on that, provided those to you. That road from highway, basically the Sturgis city limits to 182 could be resurfaced, look really nice, ride really good, or I think somewhere in $1.6, $1.7 million. That would reclaim the portion that we didn't work on before, which is the soil cement mixing and all a mile or so of that in there. It would put a thin lift on the north end, similar to what we did on New Light years ago. A thin lift overlay, a little bit of grumbling about how good the chip seal road and all that, take care of that. Right? And then it would overlay the piece to the south going on the Sturgis with this hot mix now. That's in need of overlay and repair. So I just lay that on the table.
So do you want authorization to go ahead and design that?
That's up to the board.
I'll make the motion that we authorize Mr. Pritchard to go ahead and design that project.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, on the Sturgis Maven Road project. Any additional questions?
How many miles is that?
All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
12 miles.
It's about 12 miles across the
Something.
Yeah.
It's a nice little ride. I used to drive on school, but with bus on the too.
It's a good ride.
12 miles?
Around 12 miles.
Under 2 million?
That's a resurface and overlay.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure.
Now, this is gonna be designed for county bond.
That's why, well, that was gonna be my question. Of course, as y'all know, our design varies a little bit, our spec varies. I would need some direction on whether we're proceeding with this as a county funded project, or we have no state aid money left. Y'all is bankruptcy.
County funded project. But it still has to be in compliance with what state aid allows.
Correct.
Right. It's not
Correct.
like you just go out there and willy-nilly do.
And I want to make that with, contingent upon, Morgantown Bridge getting the rest of its funding. You know, cause that was my, bond money that was left, but I want to finish all that with, or, for the, you know, both those districts out there. I want to make sure that we can get Morgantown funded before I allocate that there.
And that's a good comment, because this will cover District 4,
2 and 4.
Yeah, 2, 4, and 1.
2, 4, and 1.
No, the fourth one. I wish we could get
Yeah, that's what I thought it was 4.
Just too far away.
Yeah, but what we can do now is, with this order, we can go ahead and design it, we'll get a firm estimate, we'll get ready to bid, and y'all can elect whether to move forward or not with the bid process. All you'll have tied up is the design fee and the. Any other questions for us?
Yes,
We've moved pretty quick, but that's the way I was trying to do it.
hot mix overlay.
Yes, sir.
Hot mix overlay. We're having some problems with that on Cotton Road, and I don't know whether we're gonna continue with dealing like that. Some of the top is coming on.
I'm not aware of that. This is news to me.
Well, some information was sent to me, and I forwarded that on. To you. It just doesn't seem like that would happen.
Well, I'm gonna hesitate to comment, because I haven't seen it. The last time I wrote it, I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, I thought it looked really good
So-
too. It surprised me when I saw that, someone texted me about it, sent a picture of it.
Yeah, well, if you forward that to me, I'll look, there's a lot of stuff that happens for, Supervisor Trainer had somebody drag a junk car down on his resale years ago out there.
A mobile home.
No, just with no wheels, no nothing, just drug it down the road.
Unloaded those in the road. I mean, you know, track over that unloaded.
There's one on Bell property,
Yeah.
off the edge there. I think.
Yep. All right, any other questions? If you'll send that to me, I'll
Okay,
certainly.
I sure will.
Sir?
We get a vote on that, Mr. Direct, Sturgis made the
Did we get a vote? I know we had a motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. I think we had a 4-0 vote, I believe, or did
Just
we?
make sure.
Yeah, 4-0 vote.
Well, got Mr. Pritchett here very quickly. You all probably got a notice from our association about the 2024 bipartisan infrastructure law, some money that may be coming
Thank you
in.
forwarded that to me.
Look at that and see what we need to do. We got to be a little bit more aggressive on a lot of this stuff. You know, and I know and what I'm saying is that there's an opportunity where we can utilize some of that to maybe help off some of this that we want to do.
Right.
So it'll give us some flexibility. Let's try to do it. And I know it's going to require team effort, because you're the engineering, but it also has to have someone who can put the application and get everything submitted. The deadline on this is September 30th, and I hope we can get some kind of project submitted. Even if we don't get it funded, we can get something submitted.
I made one comment, and we've looked at some of this before, and we generally run late to the deadline getting it ready. But one of the obstacles that we've had in the past, I'm not sure where we stand on this, has been the county audit. On whether we had an approved audit for the 2022, 23, whatever they're asking for in there. So if we don't have that, again, we're kind of like the zoning stuff, we're 50 points down before.
But now this with MDO, all the counties in Mississippi are dealing with the audit challenge. So
I
every county in Mississippi is dealing with audit challenge. So
Not all of them, those are the ones that are getting the money, are the ones that are up to date.
some of them, it's a challenge about throughout the whole state.
Oh, I know it is around the state.
Now, they're especially they're using the audit department. Now, they're using a private firm. I can't comment on that.
The
But
county not get an audit every year?
oh, we do.
So we're
It's
up to
almost
date.
like an ongoing thing.
Are we up to
Why
date?
would we be behind on all of them?
He just mentioned that. He didn't say we were behind. He just mentioned it.
No, I'm just saying, that's one of the things that's been kind of a stumbling block in the past. The other one has been our zoning. And like, now, I haven't looked at what you sent me
Right.
to see if those requirements are in this or not, and what they might be, but I certainly would.
Yeah, I know you.
What did you say? You said an audit could be a possible stumbling block. What's the other thing you said? Possible zoning? or
Zoning, a lot of the federal grant applications, they score on, call it 100 points. And then they outline that this is worth X, this is worth X, this is worth X. on most of the stuff we've seen, one of the lead line items is, has the county adopted zoning? And if we haven't, it's like -50.
Even building code, some of it.
Building
Christian
code.
stuff, they say building code on the federal side.
So those, and I have told this board before that it's not worth going through all the gymnastics when you're 50 points, 50% down out the gate. That's just a fact. And it costs some money, that, you know, I'm all for it, but it costs some money to put these applications together.
So we just live out of Washington. If we get anything from the federal side, it would be just a travesty to get approved or something. We're not eligible for it because we don't check all the boxes. So we need to make sure we check all the boxes before we do all this investment.
I just knew y'all were gonna run the site on that.
Well, we got it. They gave us a corner of the check, and the rest of it's coming. You know, everybody wait and see what's gonna happen in November.
Mr. Clyde.
Yes, sir.
Before you go, would you explain, in your opinion, the quality of DBST road, TBST road compared to hot mix pavement?
I can do that fairly quickly.
And I said TBST.
DBST is a seal coat. That is strictly to protect your base, whether it be soil cement, clay gravel, topping, whatever you prepare. That's DBST is strictly just to protect that base. When we're designing the structural number, what we call, which is the amount of pavement necessary to carry the traffic, whatever it is, DBST gets a contribution of 0. It's basically just a couple. TBST is a third coat of finer aggregate that makes it ride better. It's smoother, quieter, a little better seal. It still has a structural number of 0. Hot mix asphalt, for every inch you put down, whether it be base or surface, is assigned a coefficient of 0.4, 0.5, 0.35, but you start to build structure with a hot mix. It has a structure component for carrying traffic. And it's gonna ride better, it'll be smoother, it'll be all the things that y'all see out there. It's gonna retain the paint longer, etc. But
Much better road.
it's gonna be a much better road, and you're paying more, but you're also contributing to the structural capacity of the road to provide hot mix. Clear enough?
So when you say a thin lift, how thick is a thin
A
lift?
thin lift is a little, kind of a hybrid breed of asphalt that doesn't have as much of the coarser aggregate in it. It's finer, almost like the pea gravel and sand and crushed on, so that it can be put down and thin as a half to 3/4 of an inch. It has.
That's what Talk is, just a half, 3/4?
No, our top was an overlay with a.
That's a full overlay.
Yeah, that's a full overlay. New Light Road was a thin lift. It was a chip seal road that was in pretty good shape when Supervisor Montgomery wanted to work on it. We did a little bit of base repair, a little bit of leveling, and then put the thin lift and then stripe it.
Why is it failing on something? I knew, like, you know, it'll be a 20-40 yard section with some big divots in it, and that's what I'm getting complaints about. You know, that's a thin lift. Does that go all the way back to the chip seal, just failing underneath it?
Well, it probably goes more back to subgrade, and when we have these extended droughts, y'all can see this if you ride the road. What you have a lot of times, and I don't know the spot you're talking about, but when you got these large trees on the side of the road in a drought, they start pulling moisture out of the subgrade, and you'll get a U-shaped half moon area in the pavement out there. That's a tree. That's the reason I stay on Vic all the time about, what is it, it's in your district, Patty. There's one out there off of Full House. What is that road, Vic?
Can't think of the name of it right now.
You asked about it not too long ago, but this goes back several administrations.
Yeah.
Where y'all can spend as much money as you want to on it.
With the sun.
Huh?
It's not a Sunland state.
No, it's on the other side, but there's trees this big right off the shoulder, and until those are gone, you're just not gonna.
They just draw moisture off the road and in turn makes a big half.
That's right.
That's
Just like you see in your yard at the house. Once everything dries up and then it gets wet and swells, and until we remedy that, Miller Road.
Yeah. You want Simon Montgomery?
No, south of Poorhouse, cut that on the west one. But in any event, that's probably what you're looking at. And it's probably deeper than just a chip seal. You've got a few on Artesia Road now that's in pretty good shape. But you got 2 or 3 sections and some field areas in there where those trees are pulling it down on the edge.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Massive.
Massive is what I was trying to say. That's one. If you go out there right where they're having the issues, you got a low row of trees going down through there right beside the road. That's the one I was trying to say. All right, any other questions for me? School's out.
Well, we've approved much of what you presented, but could we acknowledge Mr. Klein's presentation? Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Now, presentation, all in favor?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you do.
Go visit with Harry.
I missed his call this morning, we're talking.
Tell him I asked about it.
He knows.
And all the Morgantown asked about it.
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but I really should wrote his name down. I was at film, John, his father film. I can't think of his name. No one sure. Matter of fact, he told me tell, I don't know what they told me tell Clyde before go with feet. If that's what it takes to get that bridge feet. They didn't talk good about it. I told them that was good. I know they'll be glad when we get that bridge feet.
Yeah, we do. We just gotta find those county dollars. But if we don't, though, state aid, I think state aid will contribute some more funds to that.
Well, I know, up in Washington, but, senators and all were perplexed that, we couldn't, didn't have that money to do it, and they were trying to figure out how to get it. And so I think they were going to make some phone calls on our behalf.
Senator Hyde will be watching our tip out camp. Some of her precious cargo goes to school out here. She's going to be looking out for it.
She has a house. She has a house.
Somewhere down there in front of the horse park.
I just work for everybody.
Hey, that's the best way to be.
That's the truth.
I don't look at
And that
names,
is what we
colors,
do.
prestige, and stuff. If you call me, I'm gonna do my best to take care of you with all the other time. What I can't do, I just can't do. Moving forward. Next on the agenda. Major design. I'm sorry. Do we wanna let major design come? And then, I don't know about.
They won't go on.
They won't go there? Okay. I'm sorry. Ms. Carter?
All right.
It's got quite a few things here, so take a minute. First, we got a road manager report, and I'm gonna say we got some stuff that's not in there. It'll be in our next one, but it should have got in that one, but paperwork wasn't turned in in time. That's something we've been working on. Okay, first thing, we got a quote for the spraying of the Ocklawaha County Lake inside of the levee.
Spray for the lake, got a quote on that. I think you got it.
Yeah, I'm getting to it right now. Alright, yeah.
Got two quotes on that.
No, it's just
one.
just one for
Right.
Helena Chemical
Right.
for the amount of $4,000.
$4,000.
Make a motion, we accept it, the bid for the
Motion by Supervisor Trainer.
Well, it'll actually be a quote.
Second
be a
by
quote.
Supervisor Little. Second quote. All in favor? Motion carries. 3-0.
Alright, next we have, from the school board, we have two things here. We have a bus turnaround that they asking approval of. Should be in your.
Make a motion, we approve the bus turnaround.
Now, that one is in the transportation department parking lot.
Yes, that is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's two.
Attorney Roberts, you have any comments on that?
I'm sorry, I missed.
Bus turnaround, transportation.
Parking lot, yeah. We have two, and the first one, I guess we'll go to the, parking lot, the transportation department.
Transportation department.
Make a motion, we authorize the work to be done in the transportation department to Strawball County School District.
Motion that we allow the work to be done. Parking lot, transportation department. In addition, motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. In addition, of course, no additional questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
I also make a motion, we authorize the creation of this bus turnaround.
Well, actually, it's not a bus turnaround, it's a
Oh.
bus repair.
Bus repair.
Well, the bus turned around in this location and damaged,
Yeah, that bus.
damaged the property, and they're asking to let us go out and repair what the bus is damaged.
Make a motion to that effect.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I've got a couple of questions, just
Okay.
for my minutes. We determined that we created the problem, correct?
Yeah, the school determined that the buses created the problem.
Perfect, that's all I need.
Okay? Alright, so now we have some driveway repairs, concrete. We got,
We do the bus turnaround on, Hamilton Road.
that's 113. That's the one I was talking about. It wasn't a turnaround, it's a repair.
Repair, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You did get the address, didn't you?
What was the address?
113.
13 Hamilton. H-A-M-I-L-T-O.
Who got it?
H-A-M-I-L-T-O.
I told them to make sure that when we repair, they keep the buses out of it. Okay. Next on our agenda, we have, 3 projects for driveway repair, concrete. And this, one of them is gonna be 2847 Douglastown Road. An amount of 3,800. And this one is a little bit higher because they're gonna actually do the concrete cutting, because the concrete is so thick and they have a 20-inch saw. We're gonna replace the cover and then they're gonna put the concrete back over it.
Make a motion, we approve these proposals for both of these addresses at 2847 Douglastown Road and also for 158 Penn Drive.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Okay, right here, we also got a repair, and I talked with Supervisor Howard about, this is concerning a hazardous situation on Sun Creek Road, and this is gonna be one where we're gonna have to access some private property. Patch out some pictures of what happened. On the last big rain we had out that way, we'll pass that one on down. It actually washed across Sun Creek Road out of 2 driveways, Camp Seminole Road and Looper Lane. In the process, It carried gravel out in there and created a hazardous situation. We got the pictures taken after we got the gravel out of it, so that's why you don't see it. But it actually swept gravel across that road in that curve and created a situation of big hazard. Had a couple of people call in about it that almost had accidents. Here's Looper Lane. That's gonna be another one of the roads that we're gonna have to access to fix our problem. And once I get the pictures out to you, I explain what we gotta do. Yeah. All of them intersect in that one location. Did I get everybody? Has everybody got it?
Looper Lane, Camp Seminole.
Right.
Yep, those are private drives. And if you'll look at your pictures on Looper Lane, let's go with that one first. If you'll look at that, you'll see where water come down Looper Lane. It eroded Looper Lane. It pushed that gravel out in the road. And that's, if you're looking at the road, that kind of asphalt road out there, that's Sun Creek Road. That's a major thoroughfare. We need to make repairs to fix that where that water will not go out into the road. It will actually get back in the ditch. If you look on the second picture, well, on the first picture we do. On the first picture on Looper, over there, the ditch is over there near the light pole. That's where the water should be running. But it's running off that road and into the highway. Same thing if we go to Camp Seminole Road.
Let's get a motion on Looper.
Well,
I think your motion is to create a ditch on Looper.
Well, let me do all of it together, and then we can do it all in one, because all of this is one project. All right. If you look at Camp Seminole picture, the same thing happened on it.
Right.
A whole lot of gravel came out and went across that roadway.
Right.
Those two roads both intersect right there together.
Yeah.
What we need to do is go in and create ditches to stop the water from going out on Camp Seminole Road and taking the gravel out. That's where we have to access private property. We got to crown those roads where they will not drain into the paved road, but drain out into the ditches. We'll actually have to do some ditch cleaning, but that's on us.
Your request is to create a ditch for both Camp Seminole
Make
and Looper.
Yeah, make repairs from both on both Camp Seminole and Looper Drive to prevent the water from going out on the highway and causing a hazardous situation.
Have you got easements from the?
I do have easements from both parties.
Both sides, got you.
Good request.
Make a motion, we approve the right of way entry.
We tried to get all that done before we came.
Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any additional questions? No additional questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 4-0.
Next in our agenda, a while back, you all approved and we moved some equipment into sale, surplus, I'm sorry. So this is a sale order to sell that equipment, on the exception of one piece that we need to put into surplus. And that's gonna be 150-121, which is a Roscoe sweeper. It needs to be moved into surplus.
Make a motion, we authorize this auction contract with the exception of moving that particular piece of equipment to surplus.
And that's a generator and a.
Well, that's one of those two pieces was written up on here because we didn't have information on it. That generator has been down there at Central Shop ever since they moved from the old hospital to the new. That it was donated to the shop and it's just been sitting there. We put it on a cover. We need the use of that cover for storage. We're gonna enclose it. So we need to get that generator gone. It's been sitting there. It's no good. Half of the stuff is gone that even makes it work. The transfer boxes and all that.
when you mentioned again, which two you wanna put in surplus?
No, the Roscoe sweeper is what we need to put in surplus. 150, 121. That's the equipment number, Rob. I have a, sales.
Get a motion, let me get a motion. Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Carver. In additional question, no additional questions, all in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
If you would, Supervisor William, I need you to sign this order for them to be able to pick, well, we're gonna deliver it to them, that equipment to them.
Okay.
Motion for
Put it in the order's gotta be separate for that.
separate.
You need one order to add that item to surplus. Now you need an order to sell everything in surplus.
Make a motion, have order to set everything in separate.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, next on the agenda, I have in your packet, a bid on a 450 Ford truck cabin chassis. Would like to get approval to purchase that for a shop truck that we're gonna use to put a bed on. The bed, we don't have that in here now, but we need a truck for a service truck. The one we got is just not dependable.
Crossing has the best bid on that.
Yes, sir.
And these are the same ones we approved for them to go ahead and bid out of that 3.2.
Yeah, that out of our, yes.
Motion, we go ahead and purchase the truck.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor?
From Crossing, and we're doing
Crossing. Yes, and also, while we in that, I had one in there for a 250, but I figured out that we could actually go to state contract and we could buy a 350 single rear wheel for about a good bit less money. And I liked it. Here we go. You don't have this in the package. No, it's a 350.
We're not gonna vote on this 250.
No, we're not gonna vote on it. Out of reviewing and doing some looking.
This is what we're gonna vote on.
This is the one here.
We got it.
Yeah.
This is a change, right?
We're going from the 250 because
It's
it's
state contract.
off of state contract price. It was a lot less and it had a lot of options. It's less options, but it's more of what we need.
Make a motion, we purchase the truck off state contract.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer to purchase the truck, that's the F-350. Second by Supervisor Little, Carver, second by Supervisor Carver. Any additional questions? No questions, all in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Okay. I know we talked, well, I'm gonna pass this out to you first. This is something you don't have either. And it just, this is our war on dead trees.
That's like a movie.
Well, that's the way I.
What do you call them? What do you call them? Reality show.
This is what.
We winning, aren't we?
No, we not. We're not winning. I thought we were. They dying. They are dying faster than we can cover. But we making a hit on them, but we're not ahead of the game. Here's another one. Once y'all get that one.
This is,
Are you reviewing, these roads and, cause I have,
well,
I didn't call your attention to it, it doesn't look like.
Alright, when I pass these out, I'm on, this is kinda alarming, so when I tell you exactly what we're looking at. And this is here. I know it's a lot. I'm sorry I didn't get it in your board, but it didn't get me until this morning. This is gonna be an overall of what y'all looking at on those two. These are only in District 3, 1, and a little portion of 4. So that just goes to tell you. 537 trees between gravel and paved roads. This is an overall summary of one gravel road has 55 trees on it alone. Oswald Road.
Yeah, there's nothing.
No, that's the overall. Of everything. We kind of broke it down.
So you got one with one with the other, you got overall.
No, I got the overall. So that's, one is gravel, one is paved, and then one is overall. It's 537 trees is what we are looking at between the two. And we hadn't did anything other than just going out and cutting what causes a problem on gravel. We hadn't even touched the surface on those. And
You're not reporting all of them.
no, this is just an example to get down to what I'm finna say next. We talked about us, and this should be in your package, owning a truck of our own to kind of combat this, a bucket truck where we can get up in these trees and cut the top out of them, where we can cut them down. They won't fall all the way across private property. They won't damage power lines. I went out and just kind of got a budget number on what a bucket truck would cost, and I don't have pictures here with me today, but this is a 650 Ford truck with a 60-foot boom on it, bucket boom. That's the reach on it.
How much?
It's 200. The budget cost is $206,000, and the reason, yeah, it said 199, but if you look over that option 1, it shows a cab guard for 6,600.
6,600.
Yeah. If you look on your handout that Polk County gave us this morning, you do not want a truck without a cab guard on it.
Yeah,
because if a limb accidentally falls, it will ruin the truck.
Here's my problem.
One wheel fall.
Yeah.
I mean, would that be the danger to the person who's operating?
Well, no, the person operating is going to be inside the bucket, and the ground man will be standing away from it.
Here's the thing, I cut trees for a living for years and all that, but you're getting it, as long as it looks like it's 200,000, those are very technically, very dangerous. Insurance, you need to check your county insurance carrier. Most people don't want to cut trees just for liability. If one few jobs, you die any day on the job. Even with a 60-foot boom, again, I was going to see return on investment, because you can use some of these American Arbor and some of these people we've already used to go down the road, and it looks expensive, but I'm not sure I want to put county workers up on a boom, that tree, 537 trees. It's just a technical skill that people die every day in the tree cutting business. So we got to be careful. It's not I wouldn't want a county employee losing their life over. And I was going to ask, maybe from pine, is this normal? Is this a normal number of trees? Or?
That ain't half of it.
Well,
that's just
pine
two districts.
I know we've had tons of pine beetle issues nationwide right
Well,
now. Is this something going on, or is this just normal course of work?
This is not normal. This is drought combined with beetles and combined. If you really want to see something, go to Jackson in that area. They dying like this. You look out across the horizon.
Oh yeah.
And all you see is dead trees.
So when you start cutting dead trees, especially too from the insurance carrier standpoint and the liability of the employees, I don't know. Nobody wants to touch a dead tree a lot of times, so if we can find local tree cutting services that'll give us a good deal, just be careful with that, because that's a very, very risky business. Normally if a tree dies on personal property, you're going to cut it within like I've got 2 on my property we just bought. I want to get them yesterday. They need to be cut ASAP, just, dead tree, and then you let one that we don't get to 2 or 3 years, things they put boom up there, it's breaking and cracking, and I understand. what
Well,
you're
see,
saying.
that's the purpose of having a bucket truck.
Yeah.
You cannot cut a dead tree from the ground
No.
once it's there for a couple of years, because as soon as you stick the saw in the tree and it starts vibrating the wood, the limbs and the top will come out of it.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta get up there, and also you're gonna be using a saw that you can reach out, but you gotta get up there to the top of the tree and take it down from the top.
It's gonna be, I wouldn't necessarily put any county employee in there, because there was some training, but I think Mr. Farmer or somebody, if we started looking at buying this bucket truck, is look very first at, insurance and see how much it would cost us extra to have 3 or 4 employees certified arborists that can cut trees and do it safely. So, I'm okay with it if that's the way the county takes the route, but
Yeah, the training and stuff. for them.
it's not just getting up there running a chainsaw.
No, it's not.
If you wanna go, it's one day, well,
And I do have a couple of guys that have did that.
you got guys you think now that are ready to go from Bob's
Well,
truck?
they probably have to be recertified, but I got a couple of guys that they did it on a professional basis. Yeah, they did.
And that's pretty expensive labor force, extensive labor force.
Well,
got
we-
somebody to go up and cut them down, and then someone to, what?
Well, you'll
pile
cut.
them up or something?
No, we got all that covered. We got all the equipment for that. It's just a matter of being able to get up in there and start from the top, come down. And I'm not saying that we got so many that we actually need to be cutting. What this will do, it'll let us get from a dangerous standpoint of a tree, it'll let us get in and get some of them cut down to help out. From the way I see it, we're not gonna ever get ahead of the game, because they dying faster than we can, you go out on the road today and then you go out in 2 months and there's another one that leaves and come out of it, so.
The problem with trees, you're never gonna get ahead, but you're only one highway day away from shutting down many roads. I mean,
Yeah.
trees will kill people, and so you've gotta, either way. the
Yeah,
problem
you gotta
has to be
address
addressed. You can't
So we are,
sit here and still talk about
we're in
it.
the process now of having American Oil cutting trees for us, but it's still, it's still an expensive undertaking.
This is only 2 and 2 1/4 districts, is 537.
Yeah, that's not it's not a quarter, it's just one or two roads in District 4. Sturgis, Maven, and those mostly in yours and Marville district, and they have did extensive cutting in his district. You go down, like I say, you go down the road and they cut one out, and what's so bad is they cut one and there's usually another one right behind that one that's got to come out too, that you didn't even see when you did your survey.
Very conservatively, I'm gonna throw a figure out, and you can tell me what you think it is. Anybody on the board that knows, if you say I'm gonna say $1,000 a tree, and that's $537,000.
Yeah.
We get charged as a county to cut this group right here.
Right now, I think we average 700, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so we're averaging about 700 trees.
I mean, do you know 700 a tree?
Yeah.
What's that times?
It's 375,000.
We're losing money by not buying the bucket truck.
Do we bid any of the tree cutting services out? I know like some of,
We got a contract right now.
Cut all the time.
American Oil has a contract right now.
That's 700, that's cut it, clean it, haul it off, and
Yeah.
For 700 a tree?
Would you have additional personnel to, control the traffic and?
No,
other-
the group that's cutting limbs and stuff now, that'll be part of their part. Yeah, that will go to them. And what they'll do, that's just like, I had a limb that fall out one on my road the other day, and I stopped and got out to move it, and when I was moving that one, another one fell out about here, but the tree is half dead and the live part hangs over the road. See, on that one, we can just go out there and take a bucket truck and cut the part that's hanging over the road out, and we'll cure that problem, because the tree leans the other direction, but those live limbs are the only one that's hanging over the road. And we have a lot of that, just limbs that need to be cut out of them to kill that problem.
I just think if you do this, you need to have a dedicated tree crew, 3 guys, and that's all they do. I mean, they don't need to be getting pulled off on other jobs and things.
And they'd be busy, that's a full-time job.
I mean, they already cut 500 something trees, they'd be busy all year.
What's your gentleman's name that runs the Longhorn?
You talking about, Dwayne.
Yes, enjoyed meeting him. He did really good work.
And Dwayne he's one of the one that has worked on tree cutting.
He does really good work.
Good work.
So we just need to do a little bit more. Now, we've already authorized an additional 80.
Yeah.
See, I don't guess they're not complete with that project yet.
No, they're not completed, and that's not even part of
Yeah,
this. That's not even part of that, cause see, that 80, I have to move them around. I'm trying to get the worst ones in every district, so they may cut 25 or 30 here, and then they move and cut 25 or 30 there. I know one road on you, I think it's got probably 10 trees right together. They're not dead, but some of them are big oak trees that we need to cut the limbs out of them, and that'll take away a lot of the hazard.
When you out riding, hit the road and see what Running McDaniel did down there.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, man, what you could clean the whole road up. But what I like to authorize the road manager to do is to take this information, and even with the truck cost, and maybe put us together some kind of little proposal on what it would take to develop a crew like this. I mean, because you're talking about the salaries and benefits and all those things that come into play when you talk about that. So, I mean, that's something that I think deserves a little bit more study to determine what it's going to cost. If you're talking about giving full-time dedicated crews, right?
We already cutting trees down, but
Yeah.
we're going from the bottom up.
We just basically, ourselves, we just basically limiting, and we cutting down what trees we can. If they're too much, if they're too dead or too much for us, then I'll call in and let the tree cutting crew that we got contracted to do it. I won't send them out on a tree that I feel is too hazardous for them to cut, because I don't want, nobody get hurt.
The bucket truck will give them the opportunity to
Go in
difficult trees, they could cut from the top, from the top down.
That's what it would do.
Okay, we got a motion to, repeat your motion.
Motion is to allow the road manager to do more due diligence on maybe creating a tree cutting crew for topping trees, and also bring back maybe some cost estimates about the equipment, things that would be necessary for this crew to be able to function. And we're gonna table until that report is brought forward to the board. Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Any additional questions? All in favor? Motion carries forward.
Alright, also we have quotes for a road wide in your package. One coming from Caterpillar, one coming from Covington.
Thompson has a better price on that one.
They did, they actually did. That was the machine that we demonstrated back first of the year to fix those low shoulders, and it's something that we actually need to try to fall on and get in place to try to get a lot of those roads done this fall, after things slow down just a little bit.
Make a motion, we purchase it widener from Thompson.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, we purchased the road wider from Thompson. Any additional questions? I do have a question. We had some concern about the soil mixing up and lumping up.
Yeah, that. We just gonna have to work out. We'll bring our clay gravel in, because it's gonna be better anyway. We'll bring our clay gravel in, dump it, and when they load it, they gotta make sure that they take care of all the lumps in it before they put it back on the 10-wheelers.
Right. Okay. Any additional questions? No additional questions, all in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Alright, next thing I got, is the guys a while back, I come to you all about, well, the guys who wanted to get CDL, some of the ones that didn't have it. And this, I brought a proposal from Elvira Trucking on this is what it would cost, to go through that class and for them to get their CDL, license. At the bottom of it, she breaks it out on what the three costs that would be. I think it would be like $4,300, $279 for Class B license, or $4,300, $379 for Class A license. I think the thing that we were wanting to come up with before the board make the decision is we talked about if the county paid for this, we had to have reinsurance on that they was gonna stay here after this. And so I just coming to the board to get permission to allow myself, Rob, and I to work on that and bring it back to the board with some options if it pleases the board.
Make a motion for that recommendation.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. That's important that we have some type of commitment. Of course, there's some other things important too, with approving the county spending money.
Yes.
Like that, and I'm sure Attorney Robertson will work out all of those specifications. Do we have any questions? All in favor?
All right.
Carries forward.
Okay, now Supervisor Williams, we need to make a decision on, we got, on Williams Road, we got 5 cross drain covers that gotta be replaced, they rusted out. Some of them, 3 of them are just gonna be regular covers that we keep on the yard. 2 of them are large covers. We got, do y'all have this Lee? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. That's my shortfall. Well, anyway, let me see, can I explain it? On concrete cover, to do one of the locations, it was gonna be, the covers come in 8-foot sections, and then the head walls go on each end of them. The covers are $206 a piece, per foot, linear foot, I'm sorry. Comes to a total of $11,536. The head walls come to an additional $13,000 for 2 end pieces, and the shipping come down to $22.50. Which we could say that is just they're located in Aberdeen. We can actually send a low boy truck there to pick them up. That won't be a big deal. That's for the coverage there at the big whale. Total of $26,786. That takes care of one location. Right now is 2 metal covers in there that rusted out and a small concrete cover. All of that needs to come out. It actually 2 48-inch covers in there and 1 concrete. And that's why we're going to increase the size of it and go with 1. Okay, for the next location.
That is a bad situation.
Yeah, it's
because that water is coming from that housing area across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want that to be backload and can't
get through. We gotta. That's why we gotta go with a pretty good size cover. That's gonna be like a 72-inch cover.
This is all unsanitary water coming off the house. This is unsanitary water that we were talking earlier.
I don't think there's standing water coming off there.
Yeah, well, it is some coming through with the, everything on that hill, with it being no septic tanks and all, we just might as well be honest with it.
Do we not need to
everything
say that
flows downhill and then
Well,
the sewer comes with it.
Property.
What?
That's the property owner responsible.
We not calling Department of Health, the number you say, I mean, that sanitary, that we need to allow that for the
I
county?
don't really see a problem in that area.
Well,
It must be from the, east side of the road.
it's coming from the east side going west.
Going
That
west.
cover, yeah.
I don't see that.
Well,
Okay.
I didn't take a picture of it, I don't think. No, cause my phone camera was out.
But there's no water laying in the ditch, though.
No.
I mean,
It's just,
it flows that way, but the water's not just standing in the ditch.
Yeah, it's moving.
it's moving, but it's just, you ought to see the pipes. If it wasn't for the fact that they're about 6 feet deep in the ground, the road would probably have already collapsed.
Yeah,
But they got so much cover over them,
Yeah.
cause there's no bottom in them, they just,
Right, there's no
it's
bottom
like
in
the
it.
cover just hanging in midair.
Right, that's right.
You remember, at one time, this was a gravel road. It was improved as the years went by.
Those covers been there for a long time.
Long time.
If we don't replace them, we're gonna be driving down the road and the road gonna fall in.
That's exactly right.
That will run, so it is already existing.
Right, but bring, yeah,
So existing, remedy would be get that sewer.
Well, sewer will work everywhere in the county.
Yeah, that's something.
I mean, you know, I ain't gonna talk about that, cause I done worked through enough of that. We come out here, sometime the equipment smell like it for 3 days. But, we're not gonna. Okay, on the second location, we got an option on this one. They offer a small box cupboard, a sectional box cupboard that we could put in there. The box cupboard, the footage of box cupboard that we're gonna need for that area, we're gonna need 8 sections. They come in they cost $26.10 a section for a total of $20,888 plus 2 end pieces at $46.75 for a total with the shipping of $32,480. Without shipping, $30,230. Like I said, we can send the low boy to pick them up.
What road was that on?
All this William Road.
All this is William Road. Or we got an option. We can go back with 2 rows of 48-inch cupboards at $8,928 and a double end cap to go on them, head wall, with a cover to plug into it, costing $16,400 for the 2 of them. With the shipping on those, it would run in the neighborhood around $26,678. Without shipping, $25,328.
So there's like a $5,000 difference in the
Yes, in the 2. But now the box cupboard would flow better and probably would be easier to set.
and easier to maintain.
Yeah.
So
Because it's just one opening, where the other one is gonna be 2 openings. And if there's any big material flushes against them, then they gotta be cleaned.
Cause that's gonna, if we go with the bigger one, even though it costs more, it's gonna save us money in the long run.
It's in the long run.
I said we go with that.
I must say, this is not for your road plan fund. This is bridge fund.
If you say so. No, I'm just
I
optimistic.
mean, this is what we do with covers. It's saying a cover is a cover.
Yes.
If we're gonna fund one cover out of bridge fund, regardless of how small or how large, we fund all covers out of bridge fund.
But isn't there a criteria for it to be bridge versus culvert?
We haven't had a criteria in the past.
Well, just in Supervisor Williams' defense, we did have to buy covers, go out on Supervisor Trainer's area, and they They were metal covers, and the reason we was able to use metal covers on those because we didn't have that rust issue, we didn't have that water issue, you know. And they just, the water flushed through when the rain come, and then it was over with. They were big covers. They were, one of them was, I think the two of them together may have been more than what that box was. I think so. In fact, we had to put 3 out there also.
Yeah, and
That's not my decision, that's
we
y'all.
mean in the county.
Oh, yeah.
When you say we mean in the county.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
So these are, this has to be done, and we don't replace those covers. And, those covers are decayed.
Well, the
from
concrete
bottom.
ones,
The
some
concrete
happen,
is
the concrete, let me say this, the concrete ones, some happen and they separated.
separated.
And a hole come in the road, and we got a call one Friday evening that when it was all this raining was going on, and we had to go out there and dig it up, and we stayed late on a Friday recovering that thing and getting it where traffic could pass. And another thing we gotta note, we're gonna have to do road closures on these to put them in. It may be a couple of day road closures to get these things in and get them set. It's not gonna be a thing like we do with a metal one, dig it up and maybe get it in. It's definitely gonna be a road closure because we gotta swing them in. The road has gotta be, you gotta prepare the site that they're gonna sit on. And so, that's one thing I do wanna duly note.
This is something that has to be done, so I want a motion for approval for the replacement of both covers.
We need 2 quotes, and if it's over 75,000, we have to bid those.
Yeah, I've gotta find another quote,
Right.
source. That's when I
was
say it's
just
going,
one.
I just wanted
That was
to.
just an example.
Yes, and I need to know which way we need to go on that one that I got 2 options, whether we're going with the box covered or the 2 runs of covered side by side. So I'll know when I go to get my bids, what to ask for.
Be more conservative. Talk to our county. Let's do the box covered, so it'll be finished, it'll be done.
Okay.
Once that road is, we would not have to revisit this situation for sometime in the.
Hopefully never.
Way down the line.
Hopefully never. While I'm here anyway.
Super's not always that.
Just a time frame, what kind of time frame?
So I got a motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little, that we replace both covers and one that we had question about with concrete cover.
With the concrete
Box
box
cover,
cover. Okay.
concrete box
Yeah,
cover.
all of this is gonna be concrete.
Yeah, all of the concrete.
Okay. We talking.
Any additional questions on that?
Don't we by law have another quote now?
Yeah, we're not approving this. I'm just approving. I'm getting it now where I can go and get the second quote.
What's this motion exactly, word for word?
That the covers need to be replaced, and they've given me authorization to look for and get
Get a
quotes.
bid for.
Instead of those 8 culverts, do 2 together, it was $4,000 difference, but
Oh, yeah,
spend them
I'm just saying, the motion is that we just directing the road manager to go get additional bids?
Yeah, to get additional quotes.
And that's on concrete cover.
Okay.
All in favor? Motion carried. Forward.
I think the supervisor, trainer had a question about time limit. He told me on the covers are pretty well ready. The boxes are pretty well ready. He have to manufacture the end section. So if he's the lowest bid, then it'll be some manufacturing time, and he said make no more than 2 weeks. Yeah. So, but I'll go on and get the quotes together, and I'll bring it back to you next week.
And we're on Williams Road, is that?
The first one is gonna be near the water tower, and the second one where the box is going is gonna be in the deep curve. The first, it's only one deep curve in that road. It's about a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter down that road.
There's also a water tank down there as well. Just about as close to them as it is to the water tower.
Oh yes, one, I almost forgot. On the our works contract. We did, Rob, Supervisor Little and I did call, we did talk to those people on that, and, to let you know, and I'm for it, but, Supervisor Little, the rest of it is on you. But,
according to the board minutes, we approved that the last meeting.
no, we didn't.
The board minutes said it. I know we didn't, but it's in the board.
The board minutes said we approved it.
Okay. The board, the minutes didn't say it. The minutes said we approved it.
Well, just to clear it up, I'd like to make a motion that, I thought we tabled it, but I'd like to make a
I
motion.
thought we tabled it, but the minutes didn't say, the minutes didn't say we tabled it. The minutes said we approved it. So you got a motion on the table to approve, this agreement, for the road department. Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. Are there any questions?
He answered all the questions.
Answer all the questions. All in favor?
Right.
Motion carries 4.
Make a motion to approve the road manager report.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Carver, that we approve the road manager's report. An additional question from Mr. Carter before we leave.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I do have some things, I'm sorry. We do have some covered requests.
This guy, his name is Gaither Wells, he lives at 276 Lincoln Drive. He's asking for, access to the property, they have some hunting property on Sturgis Main Road. He's asking for cover to access that property.
Make a motion to approve the request.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
I got another follow-up request, for Jacob Young, he needs access to his property.
Motion by Supervisor Little.
Second.
Access to property. Second by Supervisor Trainer. Any
Yeah,
questions? No questions? All in favor?
As soon as he gets it to me, I'll give it to you.
Jason Young.
Jacob.
We have some in the supervisor business, y'all gonna handle that.
That's what I was looking at. I think, Mr. Lord's gonna take care of that after.
We go ahead and do it now.
Okay.
I make a motion that we
let's take
approve
care of those then.
cover request for Mr. Mike Jackson on Scott Road, and also at 56 Wash Road, at 357 Williams Road, and 506 Cricket Road.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer that we.
No, they on the bottom, they on the bottom.
And we do all those, cover requests. Second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
I know Wash Lane has been done.
Wash Road been done?
Yes, 56 Wash that came through.
56 Wash.
I received an email from this phone, so.
Before you leave.
Okay.
I got a call this morning about the ditch at Hillbrook.
Okay.
It's growing up with, debris and trees
Okay.
and they want us to spray that before we get out of hand because we
Okay.
put a great deal of funds into,
Okay, alright.
gravel and rocking that ditch.
Okay.
Where is it, you said,
Hillbrook.
Hillbrook.
Hillbrook subdivision. Spray the ditch at Hillbrook subdivision.
I think that we need a motion to, I believe that Helen always did that for us. So I guess we need a motion to let Helen spray that for us.
My motion that we allow Helen to spray the ditch at Hillbrook subdivision. Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. Any additional question, any questions?
We also have one in,
All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Alright, we also have one that we always sprayed on, Old Highway 25, and, that'll be Poorhouse Road. We always spray that one too, and it's growing up.
Motion for that one. And that's that motion by Supervisor Trainer that we spray the one on Poorhouse Road. Second by Supervisor Little. Any questions?
How much is it? How much? What's the cost?
It wasn't, those are some that we've always done every year. It wasn't a big cost on it. It's just that they have to be, they got rock in them and you can't cut them.
Yeah, you can't
so
cut 'em.
we always spray the rock to kill the material off.
They should go out there and weed it, we're not gonna do that, so we need to spray it. All in favor? Motion carries 4. Mr. Collins, you have anything else?
I don't have anything else that I know of.
Motion to acknowledge, did we get a motion to acknowledge Mr. Collins? Report, got that taken care of.
Thanks, sir, we appreciate it.
And did we need to make a motion to amend our minutes from last time?
I think it's over for you. Did you read that?
Yeah, it is.
We approved it, yeah. Okay, let's get a motion then to amend, get the number on that then. That's the number of,
So the second reading. On the second reading, number 8. July the 15th. Instead of with a request to enter in a contract for software with iWork systems.
So you got a motion second?
motion.
Motion by Howard and second by Little.
We motion to table.
Yeah, you
So
motion
it
table,
needs to
we
say
want to amend.
table
Okay.
instead of.
Motion to amend the motion that's, what number is that? That's
Number 8.
Number 8.
On the 15th.
On the 15th. Motion to amend that motion.
So moved.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer. Second by Supervisor Carver. Are there any questions? No questions, all in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Next on the agenda, let's do Chancellor Clerk business. Chancellor Clerk business. Do we have any?
Yes, I got 2 things. The first thing, I need to order to close out the real and personal property assessment with no changes.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, close out, no changes. Second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Also, I need to acknowledge an affidavit of publication for the 2021 delinquent taxes.
Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
And that's all I have.
Okay, with that in mind. Major design. Come forward, please.
myself and Supervisor Howard met last Friday or 2 Fridays ago. They have some information they want to share with us. Supervisor Howard and Major Design thought it would be best that we go in executive session first to discuss this.
I actually talked to, them on Friday as well as, I don't know. The only thing we can go into executive session for is pending litigation, real estate, or employment issue. And I don't know that this technically qualifies.
It doesn't.
For that, so.
Well, a couple of things we want to pass out before we kind of get into it. It looked like y'all may have already have a copy of the estimate. Is that correct? Everybody has that copy?
But you say it does, but it doesn't. What's the conclusion on that?
But you don't have that one.
It does qualify, it doesn't qualify.
Does not.
Take the second.
Does not.
I'll make the page one, okay. I can take one of these things over and over and over.
You have this? That's okay,
Alright, so, what you have before you is a draft copy, of a letter that we're looking at sending, along with some of the other, information that you have, such as the estimate, as well. So you should have, 2 estimates as well as 2 drawings that go along with it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Alright, so basically just kind of quickly going through it. The first estimate you would have, it's probably gonna be your higher number, because it's showing the renovation as well as, new construction, as part of the overall, complex. And that would kind of represent this design here. So that would be, basically, if I hold it down, which I guess technically, this would be, the existing building here. And then the back part would be like an addition that you would be looking at adding. So
That's
that
23 million.
No, look at the estimate, yeah, that's old.
28.2.
Yeah. And so that's that, and then the other number that you have is gonna be, for the new construction, which will basically be, that one right there. Maybe for that one. And we wasn't sure if y'all wanted to do more of a work session to kind of discuss some of the things about it, or do we just wanna go ahead and look at sending that along with this draft letter, once everybody review it, of how we're kind of looking at that we're gonna approach moving forward.
Did we pick that design as a board?
We hadn't picked any.
You haven't picked any, so that we just kind of.
That's not the one I like, I just don't know.
Well, I don't think you kind of told us that.
Well, we're talking about the Portico Incorporation, is
Yeah.
is this the one that's best in?
That has a portico there on both sides.
That's the one drawing that you think represents the Portico Corporation and the field of the Felix Long Memorial?
Correct.
But at this point, we don't have to get into no discussion about that. We're trying to get approval moves to the next step. We'll work it out when we get to it.
That's right. Yeah, we can tweak all that stuff later.
I guess when I'm looking at all this, the numbers and stuff that I saw, when we brought back, you know, we said, okay, when Archives and History first asked for, you know, to redo it or to do a new one. I didn't see anything for $28 million that y'all brought back.
It was a lot lower.
Correct.
Yeah, we went back and reevaluated, compared it to other facilities, and that's kind of.
Because I didn't know that we had approved for any of that to go back and redo. I thought we'd already had that information, because we said we weren't going, until we knew what Archives and History was gonna allow us to do, you know, to go and, you know, do, you know, one or the other, tear it down or go ahead, we were gonna submit the numbers that we had already.
Well, we wanted to make sure that the numbers were comparative to the current market. And that's what we had to do, to go back and update those numbers. Yes, they were a lot lower.
I think too that you were sent back to approve to make that design
I do not recall that at all.
more appealing.
I knew we had talked about
I'm gonna
moving
use
into
the
the
exact word
after
that was said.
meeting. I don't recall ever giving authority to spend any more money on a new design, something that we did not pick out.
Someone
We
said
haven't
go back
spent
and-
anything.
Someone
We
said
haven't
go
spent
back
any
and make
more
it look
money.
like
We haven't.
Taj Mahal.
I look,
That
and
was
I
the
agree,
word
we're
that
gonna
was
build
said.
one, I want it
So
good,
they were
but I
sent
wanna
back.
know what we're able to do first, tear
They
it down or
didn't go
redo
back
it.
on their own now, they were sent back.
Well, I was not at the board meeting, and I hadn't missed one where they were sent back to
They
it.
were sent back.
Supervisor,
You wanna talk about that?
yes, they first came to the board in May with 2 costs. And this board decided those numbers were not large enough, so you all did not approve. You asked them to go back and come up with numbers higher.
I don't recall asking them to come back with it.
This board did that, we did that.
I did not say.
So no numbers were never
The numbers that
approved.
we got, that I sent, when we sent that email in, when it said that Archives and History wanted numbers for a rebuild or, you know, to,
So
do
what
it the
numbers
way
are
they
you
did.
referring to?
The one where it came back that they already did. When
They haven't done
Archives-
nothing, we haven't sent nothing to Archives and History.
When they came back, when Archives and History first said, when y'all were on the phone with it. Now, I got it in our package,
No,
it
they
said,
came to the board is what I'm
and they
saying.
brought us numbers,
They did.
where it had, one was like $10 million, cause I was the first one that said, it
Okay.
ain't happening for that.
The other one was
You said
15.
that.
I said, it's not happening
So
for
it was
that.
important to go back then and revisit.
Because those
So we
numbers
were
were
revisiting that, we were going back, we were sending Archives and History just those numbers that
No,
they had.
no ma'am, this board decided not to send those numbers to Archives and History. This board decided if we're gonna send them something, let's go ahead and put the plan.
I was not here for that.
It was in May.
There wasn't any board order that said they gonna go back and redo it.
No, you didn't approve it. You told them to go back. Nothing was ever approved. Nothing has been approved. Nothing has been sent to Archives and History. They haven't done anything, but this board has asked them to go back and
The
come
only
up
thing
with
we
other
would have
numbers.
done was go back and just update the estimate.
Yes.
To just reflect what, like, this new design would cost versus what, one of the other options that you have already had would cost. And like you said before, yes, those numbers down there in the bottom corner had the earlier numbers, but we said that we would go back and get it updated, get you 2 designs, one existing to add on to the existing and one total new, so you could have 2 things to send to Archives and History. That's it, not all of those options. We had given you like 5 different options, initially.
But Archives and History was only asking for a number of what it would cost, like the difference.
They want 2.
They
Yes.
wanted, what it would cost,
And that's
what it
what we
would
were-
cost for that.
and that's what we
not
had.
with any design or anything on it, because that, we don't know whether we're gonna get to tear it down or whether we're gonna get to build a new one.
Yeah, well, we can send them, if you wanna just send this, that's fine, along with this letter, because I think Supervisor Howard said that they were on the phone asking him, well, what goes on this floor, what goes on that floor, how it's gonna be this and how it's gonna be that. And that's what this sheet right here is kinda addressing. After we kinda get into the meat of it, it gives a little synopsis about the existing building, kinda talks about the survey that the county had us to go do, and then it gets into that
But
part.
I guess where I'm going, and I don't know that I'm being real clear. I think we need to get, from Archives and History without, this to me is very confusing if you're gonna send them this and then we're gonna change it to something else or try to do something else.
Mhm.
I feel like we're missing the pieces in the steps to get to where we gotta go to build it. And they're wanting to know how much is it gonna cost to redo, cause they're not wanting about the design.
Yeah,
The
they
way
want
Archives
this.
and History is, yes,
They
they're
want
wanting
that.
that,
That's
and
what
they
we
wanna
have.
know, and they wanna just look at what's that gonna cost versus what, something else, cause that, on there. we gotta get it, we got to find out from them whether we can tear it down.
That's correct.
Or we're gonna have to rebuild it.
And guess what? This information, these two pieces of information right here, if y'all approve to send that on to them, that's what they need to make that decision. These two pieces of information.
One thing it says new construction is cheaper than renovation.
Yeah.
Well, none of it's cheap, and you come in at 12, 13 million, now we're up 26, 28 million, so
Well,
this is all tax increase generated.
These are just options.
Yeah, I know that, but none of this is cheap.
But there's another option.
Mid $20 to $30 million
$million.
substantial tax increase.
I just know we just gotta figure out, because it's a liability to keep that building running, you know, over there. And we need to figure out which direction they're gonna let us go.
Well, what we're asking for the board to approve today, these two estimates, one new, one renovating the existing, and send this document along with it, and then we're ready to hear their recommendations.
I think that's a good recommendation. Never wrong with additional information.
We won't send a design or anything, we'll just send only the estimates, so they can see what a new would cost versus what an existing would cost.
Supervisor Little, we don't have design. We don't have design. They needed to come up with a cost. That's all this is. Did you see that last email I sent to Archives and History where they said we have not given them what they asked for, which was a cost to build or a cost to renovate? That's what we're trying to have been trying to get since May from this board. And until we give them that, they're not gonna give us the direction.
Yeah, we need these two sheets right here, along with this little synopsis, at least give them a snapshot of what we're looking at and how the existing building really won't fit the criteria of what we're trying to do over there.
So we need a motion to send both documents, which would be 3 documents, to Archive and History for their review. And if they tell us, they review it and tell us what they think. We move forward one way or the other. Do we have a motion on
I
that?
still don't think this is what Archives and History
Well,
needs
it wouldn't hurt. It's not gonna hurt.
to send them. I mean.
Oh, you talking about this sheet?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not being ugly, but I've just already read it and there's a couple of typos in here.
Yeah, it's a
And
draft, it's a draft.
And I'm like, I know, that's what I'm saying, I just don't.
This is a draft, it's for y'all to review. If you wanna add comments, you're perfectly fine to do that.
Yeah,
It's
you
only
can
a
always,
draft.
you can always go back and make amendments to.
It's not final yet.
Before you set it off.
Matter of fact, we haven't even finalized the last page because we haven't, it's only a draft for us to get conversations started.
Do we own these I mean, which invoice is this related to, these 2 documents you want to send? Is that in the development phase or schematic design? Or?
Yes, that, what, you talking about that right
Yeah,
there?
well,
That's actually your facility survey that was presented, a couple of years ago.
This is from 2021, so we own this document,
Yes.
Right? County.
Yeah.
So what is this most, we already own it. I wanna make sure you get paid up and paid correctly. $11,000, what are we getting for that?
Oh, no, that's a whole nother, that's on maintenance. We're doing the
caught up
maintenance.
on, that's the whole,
Yeah, that's
it's
maintenance.
$58,000
Yeah.
or something separate.
Yeah, that's.
I'm presenting that invoice.
Okay,
That
yeah,
has nothing to do with this.
let's move forward. We have a motion on the table to send these particular documents, and we need to make some corrections. I think we can get in touch with, Mr. Ashford and, let him know what correction needs to be made. So we do have, what says the board in relation to forward that? We got a motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. Do we have any additional questions?
Who from the board will come, or accompany, y'all just gonna email it down there? I think somebody on the board needs to step on board with you and either, I mean, y'all gonna deliver these, or you gonna make a presentation? Is this just a simple email, or?
Going through this form.
Yeah.
One of you guys.
We can get with her and find out, how they want us to present it, either bring it down or just email it, or we can get that verified.
I mean, you're pretty much at a critical phase. If this happens, if you go down and you just make an email and email it back, then, at some point, you know, you make more communication.
Okay.
So I don't know, who from the county is gonna go down and take notes and see what they say, and
We have a
Former or
motion, we have a motion.
I think they just be Supervisor Little and Supervisor Howard, please.
that's fine, I mean, at this point, somebody's gotta speak on behalf of the county, and the email's not gonna be sufficient, so.
Motion.
Board
Motion by
President.
Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. Do you have any additional questions about sending 3 documents with corrections as necessary to archives and history?
And is this costing the county any more money to send this in?
Not to send it,
No.
but you keep sending them back to do work.
They
You
work it.
I have not sent them back to do any work.
They
This
are
board,
working.
you're a supervisor, this board,
I have not seen the board order on that.
I'll show it to you.
Okay.
I put it in there.
They don't work for free now.
I understand, but there's just a lot of work going on and we're not getting anywhere. We still got a building standing there. I just don't think this is what Archives and History is needing to make a decision to tear it down or not.
Well, what do they need?
What they need to ask for cost.
That's
They
what I
did
thought.
ask for cost, and I think they need that one sheet of paper that says the 10 million, whatever, they can at least
Well,
go
let
off
us send it
there.
and we'll see what comes back.
Yeah, there you go. Let's move, we kicking the can down.
Let us send it,
Now,
we'll see what
we just need to move forward with something.
That's what I'll
We
do.
need to move forward with something. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the table to forward this information along with someone to talk to, have some communication with archive and history in the process. In addition, questions? All in favor?
Right.
All opposed?
Read that motion one time again.
Have a motion to send 3 documents to archive and history. And you have in, those documents present, on the board. One shows, a cause for new construction, and one shows a cause for renovation.
That's $24 million.
And that's what archive and history been asking for. The other one is an explanation of what generated the cause. So I don't know what seems to be the problem. Is there something need to be deleted or what?
And I so move, second your motion, for that first one that.
What is the state? I'm gonna start asking for the state of motion so I can see, just read it. A lot of times the city wants to read the motion out if we speak through our minutes, so. What is that motion?
The
big
motion
decision.
was to send 3 documents to archives and history, and to have someone on the board to have some communication with archives and history in the process of sending these documents.
I just don't think that sending another, I just feel like if I was Archives and History, I'd be more confused with the drawing and stuff coming with it. When I'm just asking.
We don't have to send the drawing, we can
Not
just
the
send the
drawing,
2
we just send
estimates
that.
and this summary
Explanation.
page. We don't have to send the drawing.
Well, that's a motion that you're gonna have deleted this information, if that's, so the motion carries, this particular motion so far carries 2-2. So do we have another motion on the table?
I second the motion, but you clarified the motion, but the first one died. So you still got a motion second on the table.
There's that motion second on the table, will you repeat that one?
It's just stating that there's gonna be someone from county that has
Yeah, someone.
present for county's, ideals on, I mean, you can't just, I don't know, it's a $28 million discussion. I don't think you need to send an email and, obviously this needs to be
I think we need to
clarified,
at least
but.
have some board members.
Who's leading
that
this?
does talk with Archives and History.
If that's a motion that you have.
I'd like to ask you one more, I'm just discussing is who's leading this? Is this, the lowest farmer needs to accompany these documents, or does it need to be the board president?
What?
I would say who is going to talk, who is the main point of contact with the county? Is it our county administrator or the board president? Who's got communication with the State Department of Archives and History?
I'll have conversations with them, but, I emailed them as well and CC'd the board in, and they were very clear with their response. we have not gotten in what they asked for, which was cost to rebuild or cost to renovate. That is all we're trying to get. Now, it sounds like there's some other concerns, maybe you all need to verbalize if there's something else.
I just don't think that we are going through, when I got that email, I guess when I read it, I did not read it all the way through because I think we had jumped to the executive board and, you know, wanting a meeting with them.
I was asked to set a meeting with executive board, and they said, not until they give them, we give them what they ask for.
Because I know when you're dealing with archiving history, when you go to executive board, you pretty much just said, forget the rest of y'all coming down here. I wanna jump over.
This board asked for that.
To the executive board?
Yes, because Supervisor Carver and Supervisor Howard started mentioning names that they knew. I was asked to set up a meeting with the executive board because the people we've met with are not the deciding factor.
I guess I didn't understand that part. I mean, I guess when we were here, I guess it didn't dawn on me that that's what it was.
Well, that's what I was asked.
When I
However,
saw-
they're still asking for the cost. So what do you want us to do? What do you recommend?
When I read that email, I just thought that they were looking for nothing but, like that one sheet of paper where it says, you know, tearing it down is gonna cost more, you know, than building a new.
They were looking for that in May, when they first came to the board.
That one sheet of paper. to
No,
me.
it was two, they had two. There was a cost to build and a cost to renovate. I have them, if you wanna see them.
I saw, I mean, I remember them, and I think that is sufficient to keep moving forward with
So you wanna go back with
history.
those numbers or these?
Because if we go with just those numbers, that's just telling them, because when we were first asking, we were just asking for like an administration building, not the big, you know,
No,
big
it's the same,
thing.
just for administration, board of supervisors, and justice court. It's the same department going in May that's going today. Do you wanna send the numbers from May, or do you wanna send the numbers from today?
I think just go ahead and just send the numbers from May, just, that shows you, you know,
So you're saying the
tearing it
cost would
down.
be about,
Tearing it down, I'm just saying that would be giving them, that just gives them an estimate to look at versus renovation versus new.
they
To
look just
start-
like this, the sheets look just like
To
this, the
start
numbers
their
are just different.
conversation, because when we start talking $20-30 million, then they're gonna go, where did you get those numbers, where are your plans, and we're gonna be scrambling around trying to do, because we just wanna know, can we tear it down?
So you wanna go back and send the numbers that they presented in May, is that what you're saying?
The ones that, yes, that they presented in May, that we already paid for.
We haven't,
Attorney
no,
Robinson.
we haven't paid for it, that's the thing. We haven't paid them for nothing, we just keep sending them back to the
Now,
work.
keep in mind that the state has already provided some funds for this particular building, so time is important. And for us to go on and do what we're gonna do, and their time is important too, because they're continuing to work, and sometimes not get paid. So Attorney Robinson, what type of comment would you like to make in regards to this?
Mr. Ashford, the updated information, was that tied in with the original contract or the original services that were being provided? In other words,
Yes.
is there any additional charge for what the update is?
Right now, no, there's no additional charge.
Okay, the second question I have, if we turned in those first documents were pretty close together in terms of some of the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
When you looked at went back and looked at this in terms of what this board seems to want in the big picture, you updated those numbers, correct?
That is correct.
Why did you update those numbers?
We updated those numbers to make sure they reflect current market
And that was part of the original
scope that we've done.
that you've done.
Yes.
So the new information that you have come to the table with is no more cost than where we started.
That's
Is that
correct. That's correct.
The second numbers, are they better numbers than the first numbers?
Yes. Yes.
That's all I have.
And I would say what surprised you so much from 13 to 20, doubling, and is it just not knowing the market, or is it just?
Well, that number
construction
was just a
costs?
little low, and, we were looking at different square footages at that time as well. We were more so trying to match what was currently there, what they're using right now, And we went and had to actually increase it so we can start to looking at the future growth and those types of things as well. Because we don't want you to build a building and once you get in it, you out of room. So we had to go back and start to look at how do we update this to make sure it fits you for another 20, 30, 40 years.
So you would say no need to send the previous
That's correct.
document, send the updated document with no cost attached to it for you,
That's
for the
correct.
work that you've done.
That is correct. And these numbers match the current value of construction costs right now.
Okay. I'm gonna support this today with the intention that someone from the county gets, you know, a lot of things get lost in emails and things. Somebody from the county needs clear, concise, and when they make their decision, archiving history, at that point, before we take another step, we don't need any more drawings. I mean, this is pretty much the end of the road on the schematic design and things, and at that point, you know, that's a critical juncture where we decide whether to go with new construction or tear down or something, but we do need to schedule the very next thing after we present this is have that big meeting with archiving history, whether it's executive board or something, executive director. But I would request that, you know, we'll come to that.
Mr. Lewis, would you like me to come in?
Supervisor Carter, I'm gonna make this statement with no disrespect, but I've been in communication with you from the beginning, from the jump. What I encourage is some of the members of this board get involved, get more involved, start showing up more, start responding more to the emails. Every time we had a Zoom meeting, you all were invited. When they came and did the presentation with their students, you all were invited.
I got invited.
So the information is out there.
Yeah, 60
It's
minutes
there.
before a meeting, and just from now on.
But I also said that was, not.
An official meeting.
It was not an official meeting. He had 4 students that he asked to just put together some drawings, that they came and just did a presentation, a mock drawing class. And we were to decide out of those, maybe we want to take a little bit from all of them and come up with a design. We still have to get there. We are not there yet. But I do encourage board members to get more involved.
I'd like to go to Jackson and jump in this, or Ms. Farmer and I can ride
I
down there.
encourage you, Vincent. I'm working on the budget, too busy.
At least
but I
2
do
board
encourage you to go.
members, at least 2 board members can go with it. I believe with no problem. So I think it's the first motion, did not pass. So I think you have a motion. Who has a new motion?
With county
I think the
representative.
new motion was, what the old motion was, adding 2 members of the board of supervisors to lead the project.
Accomplished. And then send the updated copy of the revised figure.
So moved.
All in favor of that? Motion carries.
And what numbers are we saying?
Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Trainer on the new. All in favor 4-0. Carries 4-0.
Yeah, one other thing.
Motion carries 4-0.
That depending on which way the archives and history actually go, we still would like, we actually have a contract that we've actually forwarded to your county administrator, and we've gotten it forwarded on to your attorney as well. So we would like to make sure that we have this in place, that depending on which route they do take, that you do have our contract for us to be able to move forward with you on this project, since we put in a lot of work and a lot of time for you to this point.
The contract has already been received.
Yes, it's already, a draft copy of it has been
We got a
received.
copy of that.
I just printed the one, but you should, has it been emailed?
It was in May, I gotta go back and find it.
Okay.
What is that? I mean, what's an AI document? What is that? What does AI stand for?
Architect, it's basically the American Institute of Architects, and this is a contract between the owner and the architect.
Would you like to make a copy of it?
I'd like to read a copy of it. I mean, where's the contract at?
Yeah.
I've got a draft copy of it.
You approve it?
It's a standard, I mean, frankly, it's a standard architectural contract, is what it is. I do think that y'all need to look at it. I mean, ultimately make sure the copy of it. We're gonna meet before the next meeting regardless. So we don't have to.
Yeah, let's just, I'll read it before I do it.
And I'll make sure they'll get each of you a copy.
Okay, so we'll review the contract for the next board meeting. Should be in our packet.
Thank you, John. Appreciate you all. All right, thank
Can I
you.
get a motion to acknowledge,
So move.
presentation motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank y'all. Thank you all, y'all. Thank you.
Okay. Could we, let's take a break.
Yeah.
Well,
Motion to take a 15-minute break, 10-minute break. Motion to take a 10-minute break.
before you do that, we could just approve all
No,
of
motion
it.
to take a 10-minute break. Motion to take a 10-minute break.
You want to do that? He said, let's do everything as a consent, do everything on the minute as one thing.
Now, let's take a break. Let's take a break.
I tried to get you.
My motion is to take a break. Motion to take a break. Can I get a second on that?
Well, I like you might need a second. You second. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, just make it quick.
Move approval.
Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Now for a budget amendment for the road department, $899,695. That's
Y'all slow down, I can't keep up.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is road, the next one is road department transfer. Budget amendment, road department transfer.
So move on now.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Road department transfer. You don't have the figures on it, do I need to give you the figures?
I think you get off there.
Okay. Next.
We have major design invoice, and this is for the board order in place for them to work with building and ground and the road department to build a storage unit or to help them draft, the design for that. So that's what this invoice is for.
Okay, now I do have, and I guess I should have asked them about it when they were here. That's in there. I was looking where it says percent of total fee. And like, this first one, what we're paying, I guess what we're paying, this one's finished.
Yes, this is what he's worked with the road department and building the ground to build, we're gonna build our own storage units. That's what this is. We're putting them behind the state road, down at the state.
You got a more detailed copy of billable hours and what they did for 5,700,
I do.
you know, I was just saying, normally you see some kind of billable hours, is it boots on the ground, or just design work, this is all design?
I actually have the design and everything.
Okay.
I'll let you see,
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
and it's gonna be too big for me. I'll show you.
This is that big long building for Victor.
And I guess another question was where it says amount, contract amount.
Show you.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Is that how much we're total on finish? Is that?
You probably need to ask them, I can't, I don't wanna misinform you.
Okay. But all of these bills are for the maintenance shop.
This one, the invoice you have,
But I'm looking like where they filled all the rest of it on here.
I know, I'm saying you need to ask them about that. I don't wanna misinform you, I don't wanna give you incorrect information. I'm only presenting the invoice for that design that Supervisor Carver is looking at. But if you're questioning everything else on that sheet, I highly encourage you to reach out to me.
Maintenance shop, calls is at the top.
Yep.
And there's no calls for the other work that apparently they did some additional work, but there's no calls for it. So, total calls for the, maintenance shop. They will actually go out and, work with the road department for the maintenance shop.
I guess what I was saying was, at that total down at the bottom was $57,696, but there's a billing for the 5,000 something right now. And so, but it all is maintenance shop.
Make a motion to approve it. Request.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams, will pay major design for the work there. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
We have 3 invoices from Pritchard Engineering, Wilson Road Drainage in the amount of $335.10. South Montgomery Drainage, $869.50. Crawford Road Cover for $506.90.
Motion to pay, Pritchard Engineer.
So moved.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Are there any questions? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Have the credit card charges for $2,959.19.
Motion to pay the credit card.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Credit card charge. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Has claims docket number 3715 through 4122 in the amount of $7,144,626.24.
Motion to pay the claim.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
And moving forward with securing the bond funds, you have some bond resolution, a no protest resolution, and a bond resolution that needs approval.
I've looked over them, they're good.
Motion we approve both of the resolutions.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Both resolutions. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
We need board approval to travel to Massive Risk Management Conference, August 2024 in Pearl, Mississippi.
Motion by Supervisor Little.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Just a reminder, the budget work session will be August 13th at 3 p.m. in this space. August 13th at 3 p.m. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you.
What about this? What about that letter about that dust?
We acknowledge her.
Well, her presentation, that was before she sent that.
Yeah.
So, basically, I think she said something about some type of claim.
She wants us to pay this bill.
Right.
And then it's gonna be another, that's not all the work, and the estimate as of now is $2,900. That was this bill, and then something for the limestone dust.
Now, I think I sent that to insurance. It has insurance things with that. I think I sent it.
Okay, that was just for us to know about.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she asked for you all to know about it. One other thing also you have in your packages, the Justice Court Clerk Association is putting together a booklet, and if you all are interested in securing an ad in that booklet, you have that in the back of your package also.
I make the motion that we take the full page ad out.
Full page?
For both.
I'll second.
And submit our official
Motion by
ad form.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, taking ad out, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. We don't have any, county business supervisors, Supervisor Little.
No, I was just, gonna let y'all know, about, we went on a trip to Washington. We met with, our senators up there and with, our lobbyists with Pickering Group. They did a really good job, I felt like, pleading our cases, for, the projects and stuff, and I realized we, we got a lot of things that if we could do, a little bit more efficiently, we might get some more money from the federal government. And one of the things is like what Clyde was talking about with codes and stuff, because we will have more, points on the schedule, that's up there. And to be able to apply for more things, that they have, because when we were talking to Senator Wicker, he told us about, other, like some grant money and stuff, and Pat Smith's office told us about the same thing. Some things that we didn't know that our groups could apply for and do, and they were looking. So I thought it was a good meeting.
Good meeting. Thanks for bringing that information back. We need to look forward to getting those type of things taken care of. So we can be competitive.
Slaughter and Associates is working on that. They've been in communication with myself, and they'll be coming to the board soon with our comprehensive plan. I mean, you all tell them, how you want to do. They actually wanted to meet with us, but we weren't able to do it. So they are to reach out to you all if they haven't. But I encourage you to reach out to them if you want to have some input or have some. I'll email it, and I'll make a copy of the current comprehensive plan and put it in your office. But I know you will.
Okay. Thank you very much, Supervisor Little, Supervisor Carl.
No, sir.
Nothing but just you did everything she said. We got a lot of different projects going on at this time. We need to double back and follow up, make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, try to get some of this stuff going. I think we're doing some great work here in Octavia County. Sometimes it's a little easier than others, but it's well worth it. I appreciate being able to serve with you all. I appreciate everything we got going on. Let's keep it going.
Did you all get any information pertaining to wastewater potable drinking?
Well,
That's a concern at the federal level.
Well, there's opportunities there. A lot of those opportunities may be what we call grant opportunities. And I guess to follow up on that, we did agree to bring another group in to help us with that. And so what we're wanting to do once we get all the documents signed and get them on board, there's several areas out there where we can pursue. I mean, anything across the board, whether it's wastewater, just anything that we think is good for our county. And then also with our strategic individuals who help us with our strategic planning process as it relates to getting federal allocation. We're going to be working on them too as it relates to how some things are going to work out. Of course, everything is hinging on the elections and some other things, but we just need to just take it up a notch. Hey, let them pursue some stuff. And the stuff I was telling Clyde about that we got from the MDOT the other day, we have to jump on that. Because first thing they tell you when you get there is they ask you, have you applied for, these federal grants and things? Because that's what they're designed for. I mean, we should have known every committee that Wicker's on that he has influence on, and we ought to be trying to get into those dollars that we know he's got direct influence on and tap into some of that. Because it's difficult when you go and you want bridge money, but they may not be on the bridge committee, but I think Wicker's on the appropriation committee, if I'm not mistaken. So you have to try to find all those different little slots on where you can approach this thing, and you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised exactly how effective it can be. So there's opportunity out there for that, and hopefully we can get this wastewater and sewer deal situated, because I mean, hey, you think our county is growing? It's going to really continue.
It is. And speaking of the wastewater, I was going to tell you, I talked with a guy, and they're supposed to be getting back to me. They've done a lot of wastewater treatment plants over in Alabama and down Louisiana, all down there, Lake Charles area, and stuff like that. The companies that have actually built them and put them together, and they're going to try to see if they can have one of their spokespeople come and just talk to us about it. Give us the grant, so we can start knowing which because it's an 8 to 10 year deal, and it's at least $150 million project. It's incredible what all that entails. And but I mean, none of us may be on the board, but if we don't get it started now, it won't ever happen. And we know we have to make it happen.
With the way Octavia County is growing, we're going to have to address the situation with wastewater management, public wastewater, and potable drinking water. We cannot grow without those two items.
There's gonna have to be some major decisions made and some major feathers ruffled with some of that stuff, because a lot of that needs to be, I say, merged or consolidated. I mean, it's called what it is.
To give y'all kind of an update, I went to a portable water and sewer deal with the Public Service Commissioner in Jackson first this week. Real good meeting, learned a lot. The reality is that y'all are all on the same page. We're all on the same page. We're trying to figure out ways to make this work. One of the things I will say, some of this is going to look like a hodgepodge at first. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's true. One of the reasons is going to be the fact that we do need some consolidation. A lot of your rural water people do not want to consolidate. Y'all already know that. However, my theory would be is that if you use a carrot approach where we all come together and give a carrot out there to these rural water folks. Now, here's the truth, and if you really sit down and talk to some of your associations out there, you know this is true. You've got a lot of older people that are owning those water boards. The younger people are not getting on these water boards. Y'all know how this is. This is a thankless situation. You know, a lot of these people are volunteering their time. And when it's all said and done, in the next 10 years, we're going to have a vacuum of folks that are willing to operate these water associations. I do think that the system that we're attempting to put together, and I get everybody's consternation about the sewer system. I get it. However, this little project that we're talking about, hopefully I can pull this together and make this make some sense. That is a starting point for us. I'm praying. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hopefully that will work out. But as we move forward in trying to put this together, the next 10 years are gonna probably be the most pivotal part of what we're looking at for Oklahoma County in terms of wastewater and rural water as it's attached. And we really need to start promoting the idea of consolidation. I think that's probably no better statement can be made.
It's kind of like Fort County was just in here, earlier. I mean, to me the same theory. Hey, you don't have everybody got their own little individual, little power plants out here. They cover a whole region. That's because it's more peaceful, and you look how strong they are. But yes, it is. People have to give up.
Well, it's less expensive to operate as a whole like that than it is to be splintered, and that's part of the problem we're running into. I think that we have an opportunity to go ahead and we may need to maneuver with the sewer system to build it the way y'all are comfortable for it to be run. I don't know what that looks like, and I'm not suggesting to you that I do, but that sewer piece of this puzzle is huge, and it will really mean a lot to us as far as economic development is concerned. And I certainly don't want to harm any of the people that are trying to do business here, but it's a process, and I've tried to explain that to the people that are wanting us to move faster than what we actually are. But there's a lot of moving parts here. There's a tremendous amount of moving parts.
And I don't think the sound, when I asked, has the city agreed to do it, because on our end.
It's fair.
On our end, we can agree to do it, and why we don't get tied up with spending money, and if the city says no, then we'd be spending money for nothing. You see what I'm saying? But I want them to say yes, so we can say yes, and we know where it's going. Because I want the city to put it in writing that they're gonna go ahead and, instead of saying, we're not gonna handcuff you, tell us that it's okay, in writing.
I just wonder how long it's going to be okay for us to utilize their treatment center.
We keep growing like we're going, it ain't gonna take long.
This should have been handled 10 years ago.
25 years ago.
I mean, when I say seriously, everybody, even when we were up there, those other guys, you could hear them. The DeSoto County guys were up there, they were rolling, begging on hands and knees for money for that. I mean, it's.
They asked for big money.
Big money.
Oh, yeah, it was decent.
Their growth is just ahead of us 20 years. That's
But
their
they're
biggest,
having to
that's
come
their
off
biggest
the
need.
city of Memphis market.
Right.
That's their biggest need, the Southern County, is what we're talking about, like.
No, just growth, growth in
Just
general,
growth.
just growth in general.
It's growth
That's
and
one of the
West
largest growing counties in the state of Mississippi.
We got 30,000 students in all those schools.
One of the largest, we are one of the largest ones also.
Y'all, if we get
About
this,
3 or 4 largest.
if some of the things that land the way we're wanting them to land with our schools, with our, the development projects, with our sewer and water, this is going to explode around here. We're gonna have most people, he's right, most people are going to live up to Duval County, and that's just the reality of where we are. But it's exciting. It is. It's an exciting time for everybody, but it puts pressure on y'all.
Oh, yeah.
And it puts pressure on the historical board of aldermen, to be honest. It's just a lot. And we're trying not to make mistakes, and it's hard to make decisions when you're trying not to make mistakes and do no harm, to your point. And it's a lot.
4-3. You send them a gift certificate. He's at 3 still on there.
Always glad to have you to come in and.
Is that including you?
Good advice.
I'm not watching.
Well, from the legal side, there are some things that are gonna be over the next 30 to 60 days coming to an end for lawsuit type stuff. There's a couple of pending things out there. There's no reason, y'all have been here a long time already. Next time we will probably go into executive session, and I'll give you kind of the lead up, because I don't have all the information yet. I want to get a final on some of the stuff. But thank you. I know you guys have worked awfully hard. I do want to give you a heads up on the 19th. I will be getting a surgery done. The doctor's saying that I'll probably be out for 2 weeks. I don't think I'm going to be out for 2 weeks, but that's what they're telling me. I appreciate prayers. I'm a little nervous. But it is what it is. Getting old is not fun, y'all. It's not fun.
Consider the alternative.
Yeah, well, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
You gonna be here?
I'm doing it in Jackson. Dr. Calvert's doing my surgery.
19.
Okay, we need to set up a meeting for, the next, board meeting.
I guess that'll be on. We got one on 13th, but I guess we'll set one on 19th too. Or do we need to wait till 13th for the 19th?
I would have to put the package together and the work session, the budget work session.
What you recommend?
Do both separate, do them separate.
Vote separate. We have one for the 13th, we don't want to forget that one, the next one then will be, the 19th.
19th.
So 19th at 9, is it 9 o'clock, 19th?
Sound
19th
good,
at
man.
9 o'clock.
Y'all, if the Slaughter wanted to meet on that day, we could tell them to come and meet with you guys on that day. I'm not trying to screw up y'all meeting with them, it's just I don't want us to have.
You just want to have a public meeting.
Right.
You're not saying don't meet.
Correct, you're correct, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't meet with them, but remember, we've had an ethics complaint on the rolling, meeting. I don't want us to be in the same situation, because that's what that would look like, to be a rolling meeting. So I just want you to have a public meeting whenever you get to it.
We're wrong, we're right.
So I'm sorry for being I
In a
guess.
case like that, we have a motion to leave one meeting and go into.
You can just do it. You can just do it while y'all are here, and whenever the meeting's over with, each of y'all, with the reporters being able to be there, and whoever wants to show up, they're able to be there. But if y'all just want to meet with them 1 or 2 at a time, that's fine. It just has the appearance of a rolling meeting. That's just the reality of it. That's what we were told during the last. And in fairness, we get it. We understand it. We can work with it.
You want me to reach out to them about the 19th?
Yeah, yeah, about the 19th.
Did we say 9 o'clock?
You have anything else? Motion, we have a motion for the 19th, and motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, that the next board meeting is on the 19th of August. All in favor? We'll get a motion for adjournment then. So moved. Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Bill, for adjournment.
All right. Y'all have a nice day. All right.
All right.